The exhibition games are over, and it's time for the real thing. And what better way to start the 2025 Alaska Baseball League season than an in-town rivalry? It's the Anchorage Bucs and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots from a cloudy Mulcahy Stadium. Welcome inside our broadcast booth here at Mulcahy Stadium alongside Milo Hoffman. My name's Alex Burstein. Milo, two very close exhibition games for the Bucs last week, but they fall behind and lose in both of them, and now trying to reset things as the actual regular season gets underway.
Yeah, Alex, I mean, the Bucs had a couple days off, 5 days to be exact, and I think that came at a good time. You got the preseason out of the way, maybe go fishing, get a couple of those fun activities in, and now it's the real deal. And there are a couple things that the Bucs really need to buckle down on. One of them, runners in scoring position. You got to hit well when there's opportunities to score. They really struggled in those exhibition games in those moments.
Yeah, double-digit runners left on base on both Monday and Tuesday against the Miners, who have shown to be a juggernaut through the first week of the season. Not something you can do against the Miners, not something you can do against any team. And that started with Game 1 on Monday against the Miners. RJ Rue was on the mound for that one, and he gets to start here today. What do you want to see from Rue today?
Yeah, I think RJ Rue just really needs to command the strike zone and use his off-speed pitches to tunnel off of his fastball. He goes to that fastball a good bunch, but he also has a good changeup that he's been working on this last week, so I'm curious to see how much he actually uses that.
Well, we talked about those last two games, but how about we take a look about how that last one went down? It was Tuesday night, didn't count, but still a very exciting game between the Bucs and the Miners. Here's how it went down.
Here's the 1-1 to Provencino. Upstairs, and it gets by the catcher. Bantam comes home to score on a wild pitch, and it's 1-0 Bucs. Just like that, Anchorage takes advantage. Not a hit with runners in scoring position, but they'll take anything they can get. 1-0 here in the second inning. Keneally set. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Yule, and it's downstairs. And it looked like it was 2-1 actually, so now it's a 3-1 count on Logan Yule. Scoreboard out in right center field was a pitch behind. Oh, so actually it was ball 4. Everyone was confused. I knew we had it right up here, Alex. I was confident all along. So that's an RBI walk for Logan Yule. The second run of the game comes home for the Bucs. Marquez Albelson touches home. And it's 2-0 now. Grant Haas, the number 2 hitter, digs in. Set at the chest. Checks back, and he picked off the runner. Eberhard is caught in a pickle. Running back to first. Now it's Toger with the ball. Pump fakes. Do they got him? No, he's safe. Eberhard is safe at second. The Bucs botch the pickle. Pitch. Grounded to the short. This could be 2. Haas fires to Albelson. On to first. It's a double play. Big double play for the Bucs and Trace Hartman. He works a scoreless first inning with Anchorage. If he gets a hold of one, it goes far. Runner goes. Throw down from Matsuzaki is in time. What a throw from Ren Matsuzaki. Guns out Carter Jeffrey. And that'll do it in the bottom of the 4th.
2-0 the count as well. Ferris sends one, and it's hit right back up the middle. RBI single for Carter Eberhard, and the Miners are within 1. Hammers it through the gap. And just like that, it's a 2-1 game here at Herman Brothers Field. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hit high towards left center field. Both outfielders chasing back, and they won't get it. It bounced all the way to the wall. 2 runs are in. Turning second and staying there is Peritoni. And the Miners have taken a 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th off of 4 runs. Here comes the 0-1. Hit high towards right field. Standing shallow is Albelson. And he'll drop the ball. 1 run comes in to score. In the second base is McGee. There's a pitch. Shows bunt again. It gets through the legs of Matsuzaki. Coming in easily to score is McGee. And it's a 6-2 ball game for the Bucs. Ended up just being 2 runs. Breaking ball hit towards the left center field gap, and that one's going to drop. Goes all the way to the warning track. In the third base is Taylor. They're sending him home. A hobbling Sanchez gets into second base as Taylor scores, but not a good sign out at second as Sanchez now on his knees in pain. 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. and that will bring today's game to an
And
end.
that's the ball game, ladies
Well,
and gentlemen.
the Bucs controlled for most of it, leading
Miners
2-0 all the way up until inning number
Hey folks,
6.
off day tomorrow for the
And then
Miners. They'll be back
the
here,
Railroad,
right here at Herman
took
Brothers
a
on
left turn.
Thursday.
6 runs
Taking on the
scored,
Pilots.
all of the offense for the day by the Miners in
local
inning number 6,
1547
and they
at the Hart.
escape with a
Game
6-3
time
lead.
is
They
6 o'clock.
sweep this home-and-home series
Again,
to start
Miners
the
versus
unofficial
Pilots,
season
Thursday,
here
6
in the
p.m.
Alaska
We
Baseball
hope to
League.
see you.
Well, there you have it, Milo. An 0-2 exhibition slate capped off by, as we said, that loss last Tuesday. The Bucs looked like they had it going there early, but it was that one disastrous inning that really came to their fall.
Yeah, you want to avoid the innings where you give up 6 runs, but I think that, of course, that'll come with the baseball season. It's about how
First
you
year of
bounce
Joe
back
Silva on
from those
today's
innings. Of course, Grady Ferris was the pitcher there. How is Grady going to bounce back in these upcoming games and get that out of his memory? Because you know what, Alex? That was the preseason, and he's happy it was.
Yeah, it's a long season, now 30 regular season games to try to get the Bucs back into the championship series, where they didn't play, but they won last year because of rainouts. Well, Joe Silva in his first year is trying to get to that championship mark, and he had a few days to reflect on those first 2 losses and prepare for those seasons. We caught up with him ahead of today's contest. Alex Burstein here with Joe Silva on today's Coach's Report. Coach, a few days off. Get to anything fun over the last few days?
Yeah, no, I was able to get out and play 9 holes of golf, so that was pretty cool just to, experience Alaska. Other than that, go to the gym a couple times, hang out with the coaching staff, get around the guys for some, extra work. So it's been good, relaxing, and restful.
Couple of exhibition games last week before the real thing starts today. Were there any main takeaways you saw the team can work on through those first 2 games?
Yeah, I think our compete is there, and as guys, as we get our, full crew in here, start to gel and mesh. So limiting the freebies, right, was the main thing. Hey, if we can do that and play some sound baseball, right, because a couple of close games that didn't go our way, if we clean up some things, I like our chances.
You mentioned a few new guys. Anyone to keep an eye out for today?
Yeah, for sure. Kai McGarry, who's in the lineup, he's leading off and playing center field from Arizona State. We also got Landon Underhill. We look to, utilize him, get his feet underneath him a little bit, and then some pitchers as well. The University of San Diego boys. Giordano. Sorry. We have a couple few more, but yeah, they're all going to be impact guys, position players and pitchers.
And you mentioned about the pitchers. Who's taking the mound here tonight?
We got RJ Ruay going.
And what do you want to see out of him after his first appearance last week?
Just continue to do his thing, right? He's got a ton of upside, right, and navigating that 2-way thing. But he's only going to be focusing on pitching here today. So again, just going out and competing and staying, in leverage counts.
And then last week you used 4 or 5 pitchers each game. Is that kind of what you want to do in summer ball, or just play it by ear?
Yeah, so, when we looked at the schedule and saw the first 2 games, right, we want to get an idea of what we had, right? We're ideally not going to be asking our starters to go out there and, throw 6-7 innings, right? Just because we have the guys to do it and make sure they get a slope touch and stay on schedule. So it's always play it by ear, as they know, right? But, trying to keep the rotation, consistent with guys in their throwing schedules.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Coach.
Cool. Thank you.
There you have it. Coach Silva talking ahead of today's contest between the Glacier Pilots and the Anchorage Bucs. Silva relaxed and obviously trying to figure things out here early on in the season, but some new faces and some new fun to be had as the opening day starts for the Bucs.
Yeah, and you talk about new faces. There's a bunch of new players that just arrived recently. You'll see one of them out in center field today, Kai McGarry over from ASU, as the players on the field are getting ready for today's national anthems. The excitement's in the air, although, Alex, there is some rain pouring down at Mulcahy Stadium.
Yeah, our weather report for today's game, not the friendliest. The game should be able to be played because it's been light rain, but 51 degrees and a drizzle here at first pitch. Obviously, not the most ideal pitching conditions. We saw some rain on Tuesday between the Miners and the Bucs. Players were able to navigate it pretty well, but now it just becomes getting your grip and everything well. Just about time for national anthem here, so we're going to turn to PA address announcer and be back in just a second. Here, you're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball.
The first official evening in the great sunspot of Alaska. I'm Lucy. I will be your announcer this evening with your Anchorage Glacier Pilots from 101.3 KGOT and Discover with Lucy. Let's get this game started for your lineup from our visitor team today, the Anchorage Bucs. Playing center field number 17, Kai McGarry. Number 5, Austin Gamble on second base today. Number 1, Luke Taylor, designated hitter. field, number 32, Landon Tyson. Playing right field, freshman from Alice State Northridge, number 6, Andrew Becker. Coming from San Francisco State University, a freshman playing second base tonight, number 23, Luke Euler. Coming from Ohio State University, where he's a freshman and playing catcher tonight, number 20, Zachary Anderson. Your designated hitter for your Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Freshman coming from Laburo College, number 19, Christian Fernandez. Another hometown boy, just like we have with our shortstop, Dylan Marks from Sicca. We have your Anchorage guy coming from El Paso College, number 13, playing right field. We have Edison Polanco. Your pitcher on the mound tonight, number 10, Ben Bushney, coming from USC as a freshman. Enjoy tonight's game. Get your hot dogs. Let's stand up, take off your baseball caps, and let's hear it. Let's play ball. Get those pilot dogs.
Oh, there you have it. Opening day national anthem here at Mulcahy Stadium, and we're set for an Anchorage battle between the Bucs and the Glacier Pilots. Both teams with some exhibition games last week before the real thing starts here today. Alex Burstein joined alongside Milo Hoffman. Milo, a very fun game on hand, and we'll get your starting lineups here as both teams get their final warm-ups in, and we'll start with the Bucs, who, although playing at Mulcahy Stadium, are the visiting teams for today's matchup. Kai McGarry out of ASU, the freshman, will get the start in center field. His first game of the season with the Bucs. Austin Gamel hits in the second spot. He makes a shift from third base to second here today. Luke Taylor gets his first start of the season in the DH spot, hitting third. In the cleanup spot, no surprise here, Corey Bantam, the first baseman who has been a hot hitter to start the year, gets to start. Sean Toger hitting 5. He makes the move, though, out to the outfield. A surprising shift here today. And in the 6, 7, 8, and 9 spots, it'll be Reese Sherman, the catcher, Grant Haas sticking at short, James Provencio at third, and Cooper Siselski over in right field. A pretty normal, but a couple of surprises early on in the lineup for the Bucs.
Yeah, look at Austin Gamel. Played right field, played left field. Now he's at second. He's just trying to fill up the bingo card. We talked about Kai McGarry a little bit on the pregame show. He's out there in center. Just arrived in Alaska a few days ago, thrown right into the fire. So curious to see how he does out of ASU, one of the top prospects in the state of Arizona.
We talked about how this is a very interesting position Pilots team, and it all starts on the mound. We'll take you around the diamond now for the Glacier Pilots, and you don't have to go far, only to USC. Ben Cushney, the right-hander out of the Trojans, the left-hander out of the Trojans bullpen, gets to start 14 2/3 innings. He'll be on the mound, throwing to his catcher tonight, Zach Anderson. And looks like we're just about ready for a 2:05 p.m. first pitch here at Mulcahy Stadium as Kai McGarry steps into the batter's box for his first at-bat as a member of this Bucs squad. And as we mentioned, he'll be facing off against Cushney. The left-hander sets first pitch, taken low for a ball, 1-0 the count. And we are underway here from Mulcahy Stadium.
And it would mean a lot to Kai McGarry to get on the board first with a hit or get on base. Want to start off hot.
The 1-0 offering is high, and McGarry will move ahead in the count 2-0. Well, Kai had an interesting season at ASU. Was one of the top high school players in the nation. You find any ranking, he'll probably be around the top 100 mark. Even got drafted to the MLB out of high school as the 2-0 misses inside and low, and we'll move it to a 3-0 count, but decided to stay with his hometown ASU where he was committed. He's a Phoenix, Arizona native, and ended up not playing that much as a true freshman. Here's a 3-0 pitch from Kushney. That one taken straight down the middle for a strike, 3-1 the count, but very interesting to see him decide he wants to play college ball instead of going to the pros. You don't see that a lot in today's game.
No, and I talked to him pregame. He said he loves it at ASU, so I can't see him moving anytime soon.
3-1 offering is low, and that'll be a 5-pitch walk to Kai McGarry to start things off. A good start for the Bucs, who have done a good job of getting runners on base. The problem so far this season has been keeping them. A lot of runners stranded on the base paths, even a few thrown out. So that'll be interesting to see if the Bucs can turn that around as Austin Gamel, the left-handed second baseman, comes to the plate. McGarry with a big lead over there at first. He's a speedster on the base paths. Stole over 45 bases in high school. That's first pitch taken for a strike to Gamel.
Yeah, his MLB comparison, according to a lot of people, Trey Turner. And obviously Trey Turner, one of the best base stealers in baseball. Also just a savvy base runner all around.
Long set from the lefty. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. Fastball, curveball, changeup is mainly what you're working with here for if you're Ben Kushney. Has been working with the slider a little bit as well. But as a lefty, you usually don't have as many pitches, but you sometimes have that one pitch that works really well. And for Kushney, it's that breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gamel. Here comes the offering. That's inside.
Just a good start for the Bucs here. You get Kai McGarry on first, and that's what you want out of your leadoff hitter. It looks like Kushney's trying to establish the off-speed here, pitching a lot of sliders into the other batter's box, but just jammed in on Gamel.
The hitter's count pitch, bounce towards second, rolling to his left is Euler. He'll easily throw over the first, but it advances McGarry to second, and that'll be a 4-3 putout for the Bucs, first out of the game.
Listen, get the runner over. Get Kai McGarry in scoring position. Job well done for Austin Gamel. It was slow hit. Looks like he got a bit jammed. We were talking about no broken bats so far, though. This came into my head just now. Logan Yule broke his bat in batting practice. That one looked like it didn't sound too great off the wood.
Yeah, that's the worst time, and before the game even starts to break your bat, as Luke Taylor, the designated hitter, comes to bat. Right-hander making his first start of the year in the DH spot. We'll also see him as a catcher and a first baseman this summer. First pitch taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. It's about as good a looking ball as you're going to see. Even Taylor almost took a swing at that one. Just wrapped up his freshman season at Long Beach State University and got some good playing time. Over 20 games played for Taylor. As McGarry takes towards third, the pitch is outside. Throw is way late. Gets away from the third baseman, Polanco. But McGarry will stay at third, and now he's taking towards home as the shortstop was slow to it. The throw to the plate is in time. So a risky take there from McGarry. Polanco didn't get it. Instead, it was the shortstop, March, who had to run over. He was very slow to the ball, so McGarry tried to work some magic, but instead gets caught stealing at home, and just like that, the base is empty with 2 outs.
Yeah, listen, I don't love that from Kai McGarry. You're on third safely with less than 2 outs, and you got Luke Taylor up to the dish, who's a good hitter. I would trust him to get you in.
1-1 pitch to Taylor is going to hit the, I believe, elbow pad of Taylor there. You could hear that one, and he will take his free bag. So Kushney continues to have some control struggles here in the top of the first inning, but bailed out by that base running gap by the Bucs.
Yeah, and it was a nice play by Edison Polanco to drift over and make the throw hard into home plate. Just not 100% sure if Kai McGarry knew exactly where the ball was, because it was a close one. Obviously thrown out.
Left-handed Corey Bantam at the plate. Big swing and a miss at the first pitch of the at-bat. Lefty on lefty battle here. Those are always fun. Not if you're a lefty hitter, though. You'd much rather see a righty. Small lead over at first by Luke Taylor, who reached just a few moments ago by a hit-by pitch. 0-0 here in the first inning. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Bantam with a rare 0-2 deficit to start off this at-bat.
Way out in front of that breaking ball is Corey Bantam. I wonder if Punchy's going to come back here with a fastball and try to mix up his timing.
5 hits in the exhibition slate for Bantam. The 0-2 pitch. Just taken outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. Kushani sits in the very low 90s, 89 to 91. Not going to blow you away with speed. However, for a lefty college kid, that is pretty good. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bantam. Small lead at first. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And the runner will be stranded here in the top of the first for the Bucs. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 stranded. We head to the bottom. It's a 0-0 ball game here at Mulcahy Stadium. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We move to the bottom of the first here at Mulcahy Stadium, and a familiar face on the mound for the Anchorage Bucs, RJ Rui, making his first start of the regular season, but second start of the summer. We saw him back just a week ago on opening day of the exhibition slate. Rui with an interesting start, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of which were earned, and 3 walks plus 4 strikeouts. But for a left-hander who didn't play much for Baylor in his sophomore season this past spring, now he's just kind of figuring things out, and hopefully in his second start he can have a little more control on the pitching mound.
Yeah, RJ Rui, like you said, didn't go too long in that first exhibition start. I, of course, expect him to go a bit longer. I saw him warming up a couple days ago. He was working with a new changeup with Coach Kirk Schreider, so I wonder if he's going to implement that into today's game. But, of course, want to establish the fastball, establish the off-speed onto this Glacier Pilots squad because, of course, this is the first game of many that you're going to play against this fellow Anchorage team. So the player's going to pick things up on this new pitcher, RJ Rui.
His battery mate tonight is Reese Sherman, Corey Bantam at first, Austin Gamel at second, and James Provencio at third. Grant Haas gets a start at short, and around the outfield from left to right, it's Sean Toger, Kai McGarry, and Cooper Sisilski. Leading off tonight for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, it'll be B.J. Rodriguez, as he will step into the lefty's batter's box out of Fresno State. Full name Benjamin, but goes by the nickname BJ. That's a little more fun.
Definitely a bit more fun.
Junior outfielder is mainly a pitcher in college, 18 1/3 innings pitched as Rui stands tall, sets first pitch, is hit right back up and back. That one headed our way towards the press box, and a quick 0-1 count on BJ.
Yeah, Rodriguez, your typical leadoff hitter. No homers at Fresno State. Hit just 200. And just 1 stolen base, too.
The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball finds the bottom right corner, and that's an 0-2 count quickly here on Rodriguez. Started his career in college at College of the Sequoias before transferring to in-state Fresno State, the D1 level this spring. The 0-2 hammer towards right field, giving chases Sisilski at the wall and makes the grab on the warning track. Good job by Sisilski to stay with that one, and he robs an extra base hit there for Rodriguez.
That had a great sound off the bat. Rodriguez actually flipped his bat, sort of, and peered over to his dugout, but Sisilski was there for the Bucs, just onto the warning track. Mind you, that warning track out there is full of gravel, so not the most comfortable for the outfielders.
Lefty Tyler Ness at the plate. First pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. That might be the hardest hit ball we've seen here at Mulcahy Stadium all season long. Just a couple of games, albeit, but that was a well-hit baseball. The 0-1 check swing, doesn't matter. It takes it all the way for a strike. And Ness out of Lubbock Christian, a recent commit, slowly goes to an 0-2 count. Working quickly as Rui, the pitch in the dirt, gets away from Sherman. And we'll move it to a 1-2.
Going back to his off speed a couple times is RJ Rue. That left to right action. His great arm action too. Arm moves really fast out of the stretch.
1-2. Ness fouls it off. Apologies. He's out of Dallas Baptist, an infielder who started his career at Tyler Junior College, but did not play this past spring with Dallas Baptist, the Patriots. See a bunch of those guys here in the Alaska Baseball League. The 1-2. Breaking ball swung on him. Missed strike 3. Rue looking great early on, and 2 up, 2 down here quickly in the first.
That was nasty stuff from RJ Rue. Right back to that off speed. Clearly he's feeling comfortable with that slider. And the players for the Glacier Pilots are not liking what they're seeing. Really hard to pick up, especially because the Pilots threw up 2 lefties to start the game.
Here comes Dylan Marks. He's the one committed to Lubbock Christian, a D2 school next year. First pitch, fastball taken for a strike, and Rue just pounding the strike zone here early on.
Sometimes it's good to see one of those deep fly balls get caught. It settles you in, it sort of locks you, and you got away with them right there.
0-1 pitch, breaking ball misses outside. That slow moving curve that's been working here early on for Rue. Marks hitting 200 on the season. Played last summer with the Glacier Pilots, 40 games, so he's used to this field. 1-1 reaches outside.
Happy to announce that the rain has slowly died down here at Mulcahy, although some drops still coming in. Flags blowing at a decent pace out in left field.
Threatening skies above, a little bit of sun behind us. That 2-1 offering from Rue is poked towards right field. Should be playable for Sisilski, who will make the play on a short run, and that will bring us to the end of the first. 3 up, 3 down, a pair of flyouts to right field. Oh, no one on the base paths, though, and we'll move to the second. It's a scoreless ball game. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. To the second inning of action, scoreless here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska, between the visiting Anchorage Bucs and the visiting Glacier Pilots. We'll see Cushney head to the mound for a second straight inning of work, and they'll face off against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Bucs. 2 reaches so far, no hits for Anchorage. We'll say the Bucs, can't really say Anchorage in this battle. Yeah. Kai McGarry with a walk and Luke Taylor with a hit by pitch. McGarry, though, got caught trying to steal home back in the first inning. Another lefty to the plate. This time it's Sean Togard, left fielder. First pitch bounced towards first base. Stays fair, though, and that will easily be gloved and ran to the bag by Tyler Ness for out number 1.
Yeah, Togard actually jumps on first pitches a lot. I remember back in the exhibition games against the Miners, even when he was pitching, he would go after that first pitch, a couple lineouts. He looks good at the dish, though, but aggressive there. I don't mind the aggressiveness, though. You want to get out in front. Listen, the Bucs want all the traffic they can get.
Yeah, the team has struggled to score runs now for about 7 straight innings going back to Tuesday's contest. So trying to find offense in any way possible. Reese Sherman, the catcher, comes to the plate. First breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Sherman, a catcher out of Gonzaga University, had some good innings this past spring. The 0-1 pitch just misses outside, and it'll even out the count at 1 apiece. Well, Ben Cushney was part of a USC team that made a good run to the postseason, broke a little bit of a drought for the Trojans this past spring. Sherman bounces the pitch just to the catcher, just below his glove, I should say. And I'll move it to a 1-2 count. There is supposed to be 2 Trojans on this team. It's supposed to be joined by one of his catcher teammates. but his pitcher teammates, but transfer portal changes meant it's only going to be Cushney here for the Pilots. 1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. A little bit of a contact there by Sherman, but goes straight into the glove of Anderson, and that's a strikeout, the second of the day for Cushney.
The off-speed has really been working for Cushney. Even against the righties, sort of a backdoor slider there. Reese Sherman way out in front of it, maybe looking for the heat. Can find it there for sure. Reese Sherman, though, off to a pretty good start defensively.
Grant Haas at the plate takes first pitch low, 1-0 the count. Cushney this past spring with 14 strikeouts in 14 innings. Math pretty easy on that one. 1 an inning. He's staying at that total here through the start of his outing here. Pitch
Still
goes
took me a
low, 2-0. That's some math even broadcast.
Looked over at you, and I was like, yeah, we got it. All
The-
sorted.
The longest he pitched this spring was 3 innings. We'll see how long he goes here today. 2-0. That's a nice moving breaking ball, and he gets in there for a 2-1 strike. Lefty stands with the glove at his face, facing off against a righty, Grant House. Shortstop swings at the 2-1, sends it high towards right field, giving chase, and in play, the ball bounces in front of Becker. He's going to trot into second, and Haas has a double. It looks like the umpire might switch the call, though.
Yeah, Haas is walking back towards the dugout. We don't have a great view up here in the booth.
One umpire signaled fair, and I believe it was the home plate umpire, but that is the call of the first base umpire, the field ump here.
Yeah.
So Haas, a little disappointed after that one, but he
Yeah.
will head back to the plate with a 2-2 count now. That's a tough break for the young shortstop for the Bucs.
So close to his first hit of the season, and I tell you, he got out of the box fast. He was pretty much on second by the time you could look over. So maybe that'll bring up some confidence, though, for Haas. See the ball inches away from a ground rule double.
Haas has been a starting infielder every game so far. 2-2, misses outside, and that will bring us to our first full count of the evening. 3-2 on Grant Haas out of Central Arizona College. Sophomore waits the payoff pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and poked back.
This is what we saw a lot of in the first 2 exhibition games. A lot of full counts, a lot of battling from the Buck players. So, first real battle of today. Saw Toger go after that first pitch. Not the same here for Haas, working the count.
2 outs here, scoreless ball game in the top of the second. Haas swings at the 3-2, pops it high down the first base line. Ness gets under it, straddles the line, and will make the grab for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the second. No one reaches for the Bucs. We'll head to the bottom of the inning number 2. Still a scoreless battle here at Mulcahy Stadium. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. To the bottom of the second, we head here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. A scoreless battle between the Anchorage Bucs and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. A little Anchorage flair here to start off the Alaska Baseball League regular season. Some exhibition games last week. These two teams, though, playing their first, you can call it conference, you can call it league, you can call it game that
I think
counts.
it's
League game of the season. It'll be R.J. Rue, still on the mound here for the Bucs, facing off against the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, led off by Landon Teasing, T-I-E-S-I-N-G, the left fielder today for the Glacier Pilots. First pitch, swung on and missed, went with the fastball and got Teasing swinging on the first pitch of the inning.
I didn't know we were doing spelling bees up here.
It obviously, I would have failed. I got that one wrong. Teasing out of Kent State, the 0-1 pitch. Misses low, evens out the count at 1-1. Roué getting his second start of the year is interesting. On Baylor this season, a few lefties, and Roué was the only one who didn't start a game. This pitch misses outside, and now summers where you can try out some new things. We've seen him try out the batting thing. Tonight, he's not doing the pitcher and DH thing like he did in game 1, just pitching. Here's the 2-1, swung on and hit straight to the catcher's glove for a strike, 2-2 the count.
Now, he looks really solid so far, and maybe not hitting takes some off of his mind. You know, you're so focused on being the pitcher for today's game. And, of course, there's so much more that goes into it being opening day.
2-2 taken low, and we'll move it to a full count. I mean, you're only thinking about half the time,
right,
because during your offensive innings, you can really just rest like you see most pitchers do. So definitely a different scenario here for Roué. The payoff pitch taken high and outside. Sherman thought it was a strike. He was ready to throw it around the horn, but instead it will be a full count walk to Landon Teasing, and the Kent State infielder will reach first base. Brings us to the 5-hitter, Andrew Becker, still searching for his first hit of the inning. That's really the first struggle we've seen all day for Roué.
Yeah, first base runner. Becker showing bunt right away.
First pitch down the first base line and goes foul. It's a small bunt by Becker. You see a lot of bunting in this league. Kind of surprising, but you have to think the weather conditions, it makes it harder to have those big hits. It's more of a pitcher's league. So.
Well, we came close. I tell you,
did.
B.J. Rodriguez hit that one to the warning track. If that one's not getting out, I don't know what's going to get out, because that was hit about as good as you possibly could.
No ball is 1 strike to Becker. Here's the pitch. This time it's all swings away, and he sends it foul. Out of Cal State Northridge, went 15-34. Didn't make the postseason this past spring, but it was to no fault of Becker. 44 games started, a .324 average. That's pretty good. Pickoff attempt over the first, not in time. That's Landon Teasing over there at first base, who advanced with a walk just a batter ago. No outs, no score here in the bottom of the second from Mulcahy Stadium. A big open stance from Becker. Long wait, here's the pitch. Breaking ball bounced down the first base line and caught by the first base coach there.
Becker actually has more of a closed stance here, and he's aiming to poke the ball to the opposite way. I know he's getting around all these off-speed pitches, but there's a big gap between the third baseman Provencio and shortstop Grant Haas.
No balls, 2 strikes on Becker. He hammers this one past the second baseman Gamble into right field, and that's a no-out single for Andrew Becker. And just like that, there's 2 on with no away, and the Glacier Pilots threatening here in the bottom of the second.
Really nice piece of hitting. I take what I said completely back, because he fully pulled that one right past Kamel, the second baseman, and just pulled his hands inside. Really quick hands for Becker. Got good wood on it. That was all barrel.
That'll bring Luke Euler to the plate. He needs a good summer. Just entered the transfer portal with 3 years of eligibility left. As we'll see the first baseman Corey Bantam take a few steps in, ready to play the bunt that Euler is already showing. He pulls away at the high pitch. It'll be a 1-0 count. So, interesting infield alignment here. It'll be Bantam about 10 feet in front of the first base bag and a few feet from the line. Mel will end up having to cover first base. Third base not playing it quite as risky as the 1-0 pitch. Bunt pulled away here from Euler.
Well, Provencio wants to be ready for a possible throw to third from RJ Roué. Of course, he's a lefty, so if he comes off the mound and gets the pitch, he's actually already facing third base, so they could have the out.
2 on, no away here in the bottom of the second. The 2-0 bunt popped high. Sherman gives chase and will make the grab. And that is about the worst possible scenario for Luke Euler as he bunts into an out in foul territory. And just like that, a big first out for the Bucs.
Yeah, and I tell you, Rich Price, head coach of the Glacier Pilots over there, former head coach of Kansas for a while, is not happy with that one. He put his head down, not pleased with Euler there. Still runners on first and second, though. Curious to see what they do here. Infield has backed up significantly.
Brings Anderson to the plate. Rich Price, one of the best minds in the game. First pitch taken for a strike. Well, We're not going to see Anderson bunt here most likely because he has a big bat at Cypress College. JUCO hit 345 in 34 games this spring. That means he knows how to hit the baseball, not how to bunt it. Here's the 0-1. Misses low. Sherman had to step in front to get that one from home plate. And evens out the count at 1 apiece.
Well, bunting's so key to baseball, but then you think so many players aren't keen to bunting. People hit so much in their life, they come over to a new league, and let's say coach wants them to bunt, they're not as equipped to do so.
Count all even at 1, and 1 out as well here in the bottom of the second. Sharp grounder towards second. Gamel scoops the throw to first in time, and that's a 4-6-3 to get the Bucs out of some damage here in the bottom of the second. 1 hit, 1 stranded, but the important part, no runs here in the bottom of the second for the Pilots. We'll turn to the third. It's a scoreless game here at Mulcahy Stadium. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. Well, the scoreboard, looks lonely out there in right field here at Mulcahy Stadium. A bunch of zeros and just 1 hit as we enter the third inning here between the Anchorage Bucs and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. A rainy day for baseball, opening day here in the Alaska Baseball League as Ben Cushney stays in for another inning of work, his 3rd of the game, and trying to match that season high in pitching that he had from just this spring. Provencio will be the leadoff man to start off this inning. First pitch hit opposite field, sent towards the left field warning track, and that one bounces on the gravel. Provencio around first, safely into second, and that's a stand-up double on a slow-moving pop fly to left field to start things off this inning for the Bucs.
Had so much slice. Provencio's looked really good at the plate. Going back to the exhibition games, worked a couple really long at-bats, a couple double-digit ones. And now an absolute liner towards the track out there and left. Some oppo power for James Provencio.
First hit given up this game by Ben Cushney, who had a no-hitter going through 2 innings after a 1-2-3 second. It brings to the plate the 9-hitter Cooper Siselski, the right fielder, with a chance to maybe add an RBI here if he can square up on this ball. Provencio with a big lead there at second. First pitch hit high towards right field. It will drift into foul territory. The first baseman nests under it. Provencio's going to tag towards third, and there's not going to be a throw as the ball was kind of bouncing around there. It looked like one of them dropped it. So we'll call it almost a sacrifice fly. I won't get that on the scorecard, but it will advance Provencio into prime scoring position. And just like that, top the lineup with a runner at third and just 1 away for the Bucs.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a bunt situation, but I guess that get the job done as well. Maybe not as pretty, but anything to get the runner over. Now the top of the order for the Bucs.
Kai McGarry, first game with the Bucs and a chance to get the first run or RBI of the game. First pitch misses high. The Bucs haven't scored in quite some time. They scored 1 in the 8th inning all the way back last Tuesday. Obviously, that's a little misleading because they haven't played since then. But It's been a long time since the Bucs have gotten to score a run here in the 2025 season. 1-0 pitch to McGarry, taken for a ball. And a 2-0 count here quickly on the center fielder.
Infield fully in, so McGarry really just needs to lift this one into the outfield or find the hole right up center, ground this one through. Got to get the run in here for the Bucs.
McGarry with just one hit this past season. He sends this one foul. It's a 2-1 count. Only had 6 at-bats. It's mainly used as a pinch runner for the Sun Devils, who made a run to the regional, but fell short there. McGarry did not play in any postseason games, Big 12 or NCAA. And now trying to get some reps this summer. He is part of a very crowded Arizona State outfield, and that's just some of the troubles. You can be as good as you want, but sometimes there's just players in front of you. Here's the 2-1. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Evens out the count at 2 apiece. McGarry with a hesitant bat so far. I haven't seen a lot of swings out of him. Threw a walk back in the first, got to second on a ground out, stole third, but then was caught trying to also steal home that same play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch. Bounce softly towards short. There's not going to be a run towards home for Provencio, and it's an easy 6-3 putout. So Provencio sticks at third base, still 90 feet from home, and now a big 2-out situation for Austin Gamel as the Bucs drive for the first run of the game.
Yeah, Kamagari just beat on that pitch and just jammed it out to shortstop. You want to see him try and get the ball in the outfield there, do as best he could to get the run in, of course, but he was busting it down the line. You like to see that. A lot of speed. No ground out is for certain going to be an out against Kamagari.
First pitch, Gamel. 1 bounce, 2 bounce to first. Ness gloves it and hits the bag in time. So the Bucs waste a leadoff double from James Provencio, his best hit of the season. He's stranded at third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on the bags here in the top of the third. Led to the bottom of the half. It's scoreless here between the Bucs and the Pilots. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. Well, the rain comes down, but the baseball, well, it still goes on here at Mulcahy Stadium. Scoreless as we move to the bottom of the third inning between the Anchorage Bucs and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots here. Not a nice day for baseball, but it's opening day. You can't complain, and so far it's been the pitching staffs who have been ruling this one between the Anchorage squads.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you expect for such weather like this. The rain is really coming down now out here at Mulcahy Stadium, but it's coming straight down. The wind isn't affecting it too much, so you can play through rain. Of course, the infield now is going to be so skippy, so the infielder is going to have quick hands and ready for anything to hop up on them. Of course, you don't get as bad of bounces without dirt, but still, it's going to run fast.
Seems like a little longer of a warm-up being granted here to Rue before he starts off his third inning of work. This is already a longer outing than we saw him have last time out against the Matsu Miners last Monday. Well, they'll have to face off against the bottom and then the top of the lineup here in inning number 3, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, starting off with Christian Hernandez, the designated hitter out of LA Harbor College. Rue doesn't like the first ball he had. He'll throw it away. Got to imagine maybe a little bit of rain on it. It won't be any dirt because all turf infield here. First pitch to Hernandez. Fastball swung on and missed. And an 0-1 count here quickly on Hernandez.
Now, I never could decide, is the rain harder for hitters or pitchers?
0-1 taken for a strike, and quickly a pitcher's count here You have to imagine it's harder for the pitchers because they're the one gripping the ball. Maybe the fielders have a hard time, but they're the one gripping the ball every single time, and the hitters, the bat's not going to get super wet. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Dirty stuff from RJ Rue, and he gets another strikeout, his second of the day to start off the third.
I don't know. I think I disagree with you after that. I think it's all too difficult for the hitters because, listen, they're trying to constantly dry off their bats. I see it all the time with major league players, with college players, and now you got the raindrops in between you and the pitcher, but of course, not ideal for anyone.
Edison Polanco, the 9-hitter, comes to the plate. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Polanco, an Anchorage native, his second season with the Glacier Pilots, even though he just wrapped up his freshman year at El Paso Community College. 0-1 bounces in the dirt, and that's why there's an argument to be made for the pitchers, because you don't see RJ Rue bounce a lot of the pitches, but it's hard to get that grip when that ball is getting extra wet.
All right, we're just going to go back and forth the entire game. Who's going to win this argument by the time the 9th inning comes around?
Here's the 1-1. Taken for a strike on the outside part of the plate, and the Pilots already with 1 out, staring down 2. Strikeout to Christian Hernandez to start off the inning. Here's the 1-2 to Polanco. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. RJ Rue finding his rhythm. That's back-to-back Ks and his third of the day. 2 up, 2 down, and the top of the lineup now with BJ Rodriguez coming to the plate.
Going back to the off speed, that slider cutting down and away into the right-handed hitters. And he's got it going right now, RJ Rue.
We'll have to face off against BJ Rodriguez, who's had the best hit ball today. First pitch, awkward swing. He was slow on it, but they say he goes around, and quickly an 0-1 count. We saw Rodriguez rocket one out to right field all the way to the warning track, but Saselski was able to grab it. Back the first at-bat of the game. Here's the 0-1, breaking off speed, and quickly an 0-2 count.
I want to say it took a moment to go outside the booth a couple minutes ago, and there's a lot of fans under us because here at Mulcahy, you can camp under while the rain's raining down.
0-2 breaking ball, almost called strike 3. Rue thought it was. He was walking off the mound, but the umpire says a little too far outside, and we'll move it to a 1-2 count. Rue trying to strike out the side here in the third. Here's the 1-2, and that one just slipped out of his hand and almost hit Rodriguez. Had to kick his legs back.
Yeah. You don't want to get hit when the ball is wet, too. It just hurts that much more. But RJ Rue looking for a real good inning right here. There was some stirring in the bullpen, but now I think that pitcher has sat down.
2-2 pitch. Cold strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. That's 3 up, 3 down. All on strikeouts. RJ Rue finding his rhythm in the third. We'll head to inning number 4. Scoreless here at Mulcahy Stadium. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. Well, we move to the fourth here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska, and with it, we have our first pitching change of the day. Ben Cushney will take a sit on the bench after a nice 3-inning outing to start off the Alaska Baseball League season for the USC Trojan. Giving way for another D1 guy, Chase Sorley out of Sacramento State. Had a pretty light freshman season with Sac State, 4 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of which were earned though, so a respectable 3.86 ERA, but the relief guy didn't get a lot of play this past spring. Now he'll try to get something going in the summer. They start things off going against the heart of the lineup, 3, 4, and 5 for the Bucs, beginning with Luke Taylor.
Yeah, Luke Taylor finally gets to start a couple games coming off the bench in those exhibition matchups against the Matsu Miners. Trying to get on the board here with the Bucs.
First pitch to Taylor, big swing and a miss, strike 1. Taylor got hit by a pitch back in the first inning, but was stranded there on first base after Corey Bantam struck out to bring the inning to a close. It's a pretty good outing for Ben Cushney. That's what you want to see, 3 innings of no-run ball. If you're the coaching staff for the Pilots, the 0-1 breaks outside, evens out the count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, 3 innings, just 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. No runs, so yeah, like you said, you can't complain about that. I think he was on a slight pitch count too, so got up to around that 40 to 50 range.
Yeah, that's what we were told. 45 to 50 was the aim for Cushney entering today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off speed, swung on and missed, and Taylor will move behind in the count, 1 and 2.
The off-speed pitches have been the backbreakers for so many hitters today. Pitchers relying on that almost more than the fastball, it seems. Tough to pick up with the weather.
Sorley's got a slider that works really well. Here comes the 1-2. It's a fastball. It's hammered towards the parking lot here at Mulcahy Stadium. Keep the count at 1 and 2. Taylor, the designated hitter today, but as we said earlier, we'll likely see some field time eventually. He catches, plays first base, was in the field for part of the season with Long Beach State University this spring. The 1-2 offering misses low, evens out the count at 2 apiece.
Yeah, it looks like RJ Ruiz, they could possibly be over to John Witt's warming up in the bullpen for the Bucs. So, longer than his first exhibition start, but not too deep.
2-2, just misses outside. Bucs in their road black uniforms today with yellow lettering, gray pants, and with Taylor, it's a black batting helmet. As you said, very much a Pittsburgh Pirates type
I thought
uniform.
Andrew McCutcheon was about to walk out.
Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed high and inside, and Taylor will be sent back to the bench with a K. They'll bring Corey Bantam to the plate, and a good start today for Chase Sorley, who gets a strikeout in his first batter faced.
Yeah, that strikeout cued the lights, too, at Mulcahy Stadium. They come on as the rain still pours down. Corey Bantam now struck out to end the game against the Miners and struck out in his last at-bat. So he started off so hot, wants to get some of that mojo back.
The left-handed hitter, first pitch, misses outside. That hit off the gear of the catcher Anderson and goes all the way towards the Bucs dugout. Pilots today in their home whites with the blue lettering. And you had another MLB comparison, the Dodgers.
Looks like the Dodgers.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Misses low. Oh, hits the zone. Late call there from our home plate umpire. Bantam wasn't too happy with it, but evens out the count at 1 apiece.
Not at all. Shook his head for about 3 seconds there after that one.
Sean Toger awaits on deck. Here's the 1-1. Finds a strike zone. Well, we're seeing Sorley has really located the bottom part of the strike zone and is belting it with strikes right now. Pitcher's count to Corey Bantam. Righty on lefty battle. Here comes the pitch. Misses outside.
Bantam has commanded the strike zone really well so far as a Buck and doing well right here. Works the count even at 2-2. Needs to get something started here for the Bucs. The offense seems like they need a jolt, something to get them started.
Here's the 2-2. Just misses outside. They'll move to a full count for the second straight batter. Bantam hitting in that cleanup spot, the 4th spot for a 3rd straight game. Every game the Bucs have played this season, that shows the confidence that the coaching staff has And the left-hander out of Southwest Minnesota State. The payoff pitch. Foul back.
Just under that one. Corey Bantam brought his hands in there like lightning. Just got a piece of it. If he turns on one, I want to see a Corey Bantam big bomb out to right field. The ball has been carrying to right field more than left, I would say, in BP these last couple weeks.
Payoff pitch part 2. Misses outside. You won't get to see that swing, but you will get to see a Bucs reach as Corey Bantam takes the 1-out walk. And there's 1 on with 1 away here, and Sean Toger coming to the plate.
Listen, that's all you can ask for. Sean Toger, I wonder if he'll jump on the first pitch like he did the first time up and like he's done so many times already as a Buck.
Toger, the lefty. We saw him start last game as a pitcher. First pitch misses outside, and that shows you he's about as good as a baseball player as you can get in terms of diverse skill sets. Was a starting pitcher and now hitting in the 5-hole, starting in left field.
I thought that was only a little league thing.
I mean,
since when is everyone a two-way player?
Only on the Bucs. 1 out, grounded right side, scooped up easily by Euler, who will throw to first. It does advance Bantam to second base. And with that, there's 2 away here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, again, nice to move the runner over, but of course now with 2 outs, just got jammed in there was Toger.
It's a big ask for Reese Sherman, the catcher out of Gonzaga. Struck out swinging back in the second. We see a lot of the strikeouts today. None of them have been looking. The bats have been wanting to find the ball, but haven't seen a lot of lumber the ball. Yeah.
A couple half swings as the hitters are indecisive, but the rain has slowed down here. I'm going to be the weatherman on today's broadcast.
First pitch hit up the middle and underneath the glove of Marks. Turning third is Bantam. There's not going to be a throw home, and that's an RBI single for Reese Sherman. The Bucs lead 1-0. An unfortunate placement on a glove there for the shortstop Marks, but the Bucs will take it. It's a 1-0 Anchorage lead.
Well, you know what the funny thing about that is? I think it was actually a double hit off Reese Sherman's bat. It had so much English going towards the shortstop, and it was just so tough to pick up. Dylan Marks didn't know what was happening because it looked like a easy ground ball, but it skidded to the right. I believe that hit Reese Sherman's bat twice, if I'm not mistaken.
They are going to charge it as a hit, not an error. So that means the RBI goes to Sherman, and the Bucs now in control here in the 4th. Grant Haas comes to the plate, the right-handed hitting shortstop. First pitch taken low, and after Chase Sorley had a pretty good start to his outing, strikeout, walk, and then ground out, now finding a little bit of trouble against the Bucs here in the top of the 4th. See if they can chase another run across the plate. 1 ball, no strikes on Grant Haas. Here's the pitch. Taken inside.
Listen, double hit or not double hit. The Bucs will take anything they can get. Finally hit with runners in scoring position. So big for Reese Sherman to get his season started off right.
Haas popped out to the first baseman his last time up back in the 2nd. 2-0 taken all the way for a strike. He's shown, though, he has a little pop in his bat. Don't know if we'll see Sherman, a catcher, trying to steal a bag here, but you get something Oppo here, you could easily get Sherman into third base.
Well, he was so close last time up, almost had a double and then had to retreat back to the dish.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one misses outside. So Sorley struggling a little bit with control here. Both against the lefty batters. Corey Bantam drew a walk, and the righties like Hots here.
I wonder if Reese Sherman has any speed to take off. You know, a catcher, but we've seen it happen before.
Hitters count. Here's the 3-1. Hit high into foul territory on the right side. Playable for Ness, who chases, slides, and he's going to go straight into the fence there. Overplayed it a little bit. That will move us to a full count here.
Yeah, almost ran into the fence over there by those seats out in right field. A tough one because there is a lot of foul territory, but as you get closer towards that bullpen area, it comes in pretty fast and gets narrow.
Can be just as dangerous to slide into the fence as it is to run into it, extending that 1 leg, but Ness luckily okay after that one. And instead, we're going to see our 3rd full count of the inning. It comes to Grant Haas. Runner at first base, 2 away. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off.
3-2 count with 2 outs, of course, means the runner is going to be going on anything, so hit one into the center field gap, right or left, Sherman could have a chance to score. The gaps are pretty big out here at Mulcahy Stadium.
Big dimensions here at one of Alaska's best ballparks. 398 to center field, 325 to both of the poles. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's another payoff pitch. Taken inside. Steal won't count for Reese Sherman, but he gets to second base, and Grant Haas is aboard with a walk.
Well, so runners on first and second now. And this is a situation to really tack on. The 2-out inning is huge. Of course, because it's a backbreaker for the pitcher, but it also gives you confidence as a team to not give up in innings that go by fast as the season goes along. You say, hey, we've been here before. We can get runs even if we have 2 outs.
James Provencio comes to the plate, has already moved from the 9 spot to the 8 spot in one game, maybe moving up even higher. Has the game's lone extra base hit, a double back in the second inning, but was stranded at third. Now, another one of those would get him a couple RBIs. First pitch, misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Really, really struggling to find the strike zone is Chase Sorley. 2 walks already this inning, giving up an RBI single as well. 1-0, the Bucs lead in the top of inning number 4 here at Mulcahy Stadium. Expecting a low-scoring game with this weather. Here's the 1-0. Again. Oh, this one hits the outside part of the zone. Looked like it reached a little far outside, but they'll even out the count.
And Provencio would love to do what he did his first time up. Lash one out to left field onto the gravel warning track. I don't know how much power he has, but he has doubles right up his pocket.
He knows how to get on base.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Runners take their leads to 1-1. Check back.
Also a tough guy to strike out. Almost like Luis Arise up in the big league. So difficult to punch out. He's going to put up a battle every time.
Provencio, one of those guys who hits a lefty bat, throws as a righty, though. Seeing him at third
Never
base
understood
tonight.
that.
Sometimes bodies are just interesting. Train the throw one way, maybe hit the other way.
I can hardly write and kick with my 2 hands.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Provencio bounces one softly down the third base line. Polanco tries to barehand it, and he can't get it. So that will be probably single for Provencio, and the bases are juiced with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. A tough play for Polanco, but you might want to be safe and glove that one and try to make it a quick transition instead of just going off the bare hands.
I think his only chance there was the bare hand.
They're giving him an error.
An error, yeah. I don't know if that's an error. That's a tough score. I mean, that was tough coming in. I know he's such a good defender. We saw him out here doing defense all week long. I was impressed, but couldn't come up with that one. It's tough when the turf is so wet.
You know, Provencio is punching the air, not getting a hit there, but it reaches nonetheless. He'll bring the 9-hitter Cooper Siselski to the plate. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. 0-1 the count.
Just like that, bases loaded for the Bucs. Big situation. Can Siselski get it done and at least tack on 2 more?
Reese Sherman at third, Grant Haas at second, James Provencio at first. And of course, Cooper Siselski still at the plate. The 0-1. Poke towards right field, and that's going to drop. Goes all the way to the warning track. 1 runs in to score. Coming in is Haas safely into second base with a 2 RBI double. Is Cooper Siselski to throw home? Is it time? They tried to send James Provencio as well all the way from first. He'll get tagged out, but it's 2 RBIs and 2 runs for Cooper Siselski, and the Bucs have a 3-0 lead as the top of the 4th comes to an end. It's the Bucs 3, the Pilots nothing. We'll head to the home half here. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball.
with the highest
Well, the day is over for RJ Rue. He'll turn the ball over to John Witt out of Paradise Valley Community College as we move to the bottom of the fourth here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. The Bucs with a 3-0 lead over the Glacier Pilots after an excellent top half of the inning where the Bucs scraped all 3 of their runs across the plate. 3 runs all earned to Chase Sorley off of just 1 hit but 1 error, and the bats really starting to get going. Witt will start things off against the 2, 3, and 4 hitters as Tyler Ness lines one into center field. That's a first pitch single for the Dallas Baptist product to start things off here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, welcome to the game, John Witt. But I want to go back to that hit from Siselski. Just an excellent oppo base knock. Came in at second, and I don't mind the aggressive base running for the Bucs. Provencio was gunned out at home, but you got to score when you possibly can, and it was an opportunity. Joe Silva sent him. Wasn't too close, but I don't completely mind it.
Dylan Marks at the plate, flew out to right field his first time up. This time works with a runner at first base. First pitch, tried a breaking ball, didn't get as much movement as he wants, so it'll go inside for a ball, 1-0 the count. Rue's day finishes 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. That's a pretty good line.
Really good line for RJ Rue.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Misses outside. A very interesting pitching mode for John Witt. He picks his leg up and then has his arm kind of concocted at his shoulder and then pushes everything forward.
Kind of a jolt of his hips really quickly.
Pick off to first, not in time. 2 balls, no strikes on Dylan Marks. John Witt, we mentioned, out of Paradise Valley Community College. Just wrapped up his 2nd year there, and he'll be playing at Arkansas Tech D2 ball next season. A very good D2. Pitch taken for a strike, throw to first, not in time. Reese Sherman got aggressive there, trying to pick off a pesky Tyler Ness there at first base.
Clearly aware that Tyler Ness is a running threat. John Witt checked over. Reese Sherman checked over. Are you going to check over?
I wish. 2 balls, 1 strike on Dylan Marks. Breaking ball fouled off to the right-hand side. John Witt had a very relaxing spring. A lot of these junior college kids, they're in the spring, summer, still searching for their home. He committed all the way back in November to Arkansas Tech, so he was able to take a breather, but still played a lot for Paradise Valley. 14 games pitched in, 52 1/3 innings pitched. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball hit up the middle, and another one will drop for a single. Back-to-back liners, and there's 2 on with no outs here in the bottom of the 4th for the Pilots. Both offensives kind of waking up here in the 4th.
Yeah, I feel like I just saw the same exact hit right up the middle out to Kai McGarry. Both times the hitter got somewhat jammed, or at least that last one from Dylan Marks. So, yeah, interesting situation here for the Bucs. See if John Witt can get out of it. Came in, no outs.
That means Landon Teasing has a big chance here. Walked in the 2nd, still searching for his first hit of the season in his first game with the Pilots. First pitch taken all the way for a strike. We see the first baseman Bantam taking a few steps in, trying to protect that bunt. Provencio playing all the way back at the bag over there at 3rd.
Now it's interesting because, of course, this is the cleanup hitter. So I wonder how old school the Pilots are going to get here.
No balls, 1 strike. Next pitch, breaking ball, fouled back. Move it to an 0-2 count.
I would really assume that Teasing doesn't bunt here, so yeah, Corey Bantam's going to back up now, of course with 2 strikes, but at the start, Teasing, he's not going up there to bunt.
Runners at first and second base. No balls, 2 strikes on Teasing. Stands close to the plate in the righty's batter's box. Here's the pitch. Half swing. It still goes down the first base line, but will drift foul. And we'll do the 0-2 again.
I think that's about as close of a bunt we're going to get from Teasing. Almost a perfect one down the first baseline, almost like a push bunt.
Corey Bantam would have been ready for that one had he stayed in his position.
True, very true.
John Witt, 2nd appearance of the year, went 2 innings, giving up just 1 hit, no runs, and 1 strikeout back on, we'll call it opening day 1 last Monday.
Okay.
Opening day to exhibition play. Here's opening day of the regular season. Here's the 0-2. Breaking pitch misses low and outside, and first ball thrown of this at-bat to Witt, by Witt. 2 runners aboard for the Glacier Pilots. Tyler Ness at second base, Dylan Marks at first. The Bucs with a 3-0 lead. Pitch skied high towards right field. Saselski takes a few steps in and raises his glove to make the catch. Runners forced to retreat to their bags. That one was high, but it didn't carry too far. Just past the turf outfield and at the edge of the outfield grass. It's a weird setup here at Mulcahy Stadium, but nice play by Saselski.
There's almost like 3 stages to get out to the outfield. Almost 4. You got the infield grass, the dirt, supposedly dirt, the turf, and then you got the 2 sets of green, but couldn't get the run over. Big out for John Witt.
Brings Andrew Becker to the plate. Singled his last time up, first hit of the season. Try to make it 2. He bounces this one past the shortstop Haas, turning third base as Ness. The throw home is off the mark. Sherman will get it before it goes to the backstop, but that's an RBI single by Andrew Becker, and the Pilots back in this one, trailing 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th.
After the Bucs score, you want to have a lockdown inning, and that's not what's happening here. John Witt already 1 run in, but the Pilots, their bats are showing up. It's almost like they saw the Bucs heat up, and they're like, all right, well, now it's our turn. Season has started, guys. Let's get it going.
Glacier Pilots with 4 hits already today compared to just 2 for the Bucs. Now trying to punch those in. First pitch to Luke Euler reaches outside, and it's a 1-0 count. Euler just wrapped up his freshman season at Sacramento State. Played in just 5 games as a starter, 18 at-bats. Hit 111, 1-0. This is outside.
Double play is the perfect thing for John Witt right here. Trying to get out of it, keep the lead. I want to see what the Bucs are like playing with the lead, because it seems like they've been coming from behind as the later innings show up in the last couple games.
2-0 pitch, misses low and inside, and now a big hitter's count to Luke Euler. We've seen the Bucs can turn them, went 4-6-3 to end the second inning. That's the second baseman Gamel to the shortstop Haas to the first baseman Bantam. We've seen some 6-4-3s as well. My favorite, we saw a 5-2-3 back on Tuesday. 3-0 pitch, just misses outside, and even Euler thought that one was a strike. He waited a second, but he'll take his free bag on the 4-pitch walk. And the bases, well, they're loaded here in the bottom of the 4th, just 1 away, and a big opportunity for the guy that hit into that last double play, Luke Anderson, here in the bottom of the 4th.
And I think this is the time for a mound visit, if there's any time for one. John Witt's still out there. A couple stirring in the bullpen, but looks like this is his to deal with.
Bucs trying to avoid an 0-1 start to league play. First pitch went off speed and gets a nice swing and a miss to Luke Anderson. 0-1 the count. We mentioned Luke with a ground out back in the second inning. Just wrapped up his sophomore year at Cypress College. Big leads at first, second, and third. They won't be moving unless there's a wild pitch. 0-1 taken for a strike, and really, a double play would be ideal, but if you get a strikeout, you move the force out anywhere, that would be huge here for the Bucs.
Well, the infield is fully back. Even the corners are back, so hoping for a double play.
3-1 Bucs lead, bottom of the 4th. Here's the 0-2 offering. Slammed on the ground to the left field. 1 runs in to score. Turning third is Andrew Becker to throw home. In time, a dot from Sean Toger in left field. That will bring the inning total to 2 outs, but 1 run does come across the plate. An RBI single for Luke Anderson, and it's a 3-2 ball game with 2 on and 2 away here in inning number 4.
The second time we've seen a runner get gunned out at the dish. Aggressive base path running from both sides. Both coaches are sending everyone, so a really good throw by Toger to keep the lead for the Bucs.
Christian Hernandez at the plate takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count as in Polanco. The 9-hitter waits on deck. It'll be Euler at second base, Anderson at first. Euler, the tying run here in the bottom of the 4th. All the offense this inning. 0-1 hit off the inside of the bat, and it's an 0-2 count. Well, Hernandez struck out his last time up. Trying to reach for first time this season. No hits so far for the Glacier Pilots. The designated hitter in tonight's game. 0-2, breaking ball in on his hands. He'll hit it softly to the first base side. Bantam scoops to first. Witt gets it in time, and that's out number 3, but not before 2 runs come across the plate. A busy 4th inning for both teams. The Pilots score 2 in the bottom, but the Bucs, well, they had 3 in the top half of the 4th, and they'll take a 3-2 lead into the 5th. We'll be back in just a second. You're watching Anchorage Bucs Baseball. To the 5th, we had a busy inning number 4 here at Mulcahy Stadium. 5 runs come across the plate between the Bucs and the Pilots. 3 for the visiting Bucs, 2 for the home Pilots, and that's where things stand here. Entering the 5th inning, Chase Sorley enters his 2nd inning of work, and he'll start things off with the one-hitter Kai McGarry, who grounds one up the middle past a diving Marks. And that's the first hit of the season for Kai McGarry. He gets a leadoff single and a runner aboard to start off the 5th for the Bucs.
McGarry just chopped that one up. On now for the 2nd time. I think this is a perfect time to steal. You got the top of the order looming. Of course, Gamel now the 2 guy. Not looming, I should say. McGarry is the leadoff hitter. But you want to keep the offense going, especially after the Pilots look so good at the plate.
Kai McGarry with just 2 stolen base attempts this past spring with ASU. First pitch taken for a strike to Austin Gamel. But in high school, he did it a ton. Ended up with 47 stolen bags on 59 attempts. That's a pretty good ratio. Pickoff throw to first, not in time. No balls, 1 strike on Austin Gamel. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to second and then popped out to the first baseman, Tyler Ness. Ness has had a great day over there at first base.
Really good. It's looking like a vacuum.
0-1. Hit on the right side. Grounder. They'll go to second to McGarry, and dropping the ball is Marks. So an error means aboard is Austin Gamel, and safely into second base in scoring position is Kai McGarry, and the Bucs finding something here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, I don't know the decision making there from Euler to go to second. I understand you probably had him by a foot, but the safe bet was to go to first and get the guaranteed out. The umps are talking about it. Something's going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance he tagged him and then lost the ball. The way it looked like from our booth was that it should be scored as a hit for Austin. No, it should be a fielder's choice for Austin Gamel. It looks like we may have a glove issue here. So we're seeing some glove problems out of the shortstop, Dylan Marks. Well, that's one way to try to plead your case for non-air, saying your glove malfunctions.
Reminds me like one of those sticky situations in the MLB now with all those extra substances being used as the Bucs trainer is coming out to check on the shortstop, Dylan Marks, it looks like.
And it looks like it's his hand, not his glove.
Yeah, not his glove.
So, quick stoppage in play It's not going to go as an air. It's not going to go as a hit. It's a fielder's choice reach for Austin Gamel. And I'm surprised they're not giving an air on the throw because McGarry would have been out.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a reach for Austin Gamel, and there's 2 on with no outs. And, hey, the Bucs will take it.
The traffic has been pumping on the bases these last couple innings for both sides. Now, you got your 3-hitter Luke Taylor up. I don't expect a bunt once again, but he's still looking for his first hit as a Buck.
Hit by pitch in the first, strikeout in the 4th. He's got Gamel at first base, McGarry at second. Top of the 5th here from Mulcahy Stadium. 3-2, the Bucs with a narrow lead. First pitch. Slam, broken bat into left field, drops in front of teasing. Turning third is McGarry. He might have tripped on the bat. He's in safely. To throw the third is not time. And that is an RBI single for Luke Taylor, and our second broken bat of the day for the Bucs.
Yep, one came in BP and one came when it really mattered. Luke Taylor with his first hit as a Buck, first to Ribby. Kai McGarry comes home to score his first run with the Bucs. Good stuff all around from the top of the order, getting offense done.
And it looked like McGarry, as he was coming from second to third, had to do some acrobatics to avoid tripping on that bat.
I would be real scared. Looks like the umps are actually looking around on the field to see if there's any extra remnants of that bat. But listen, normally hitters don't like it when their bat breaks, but now you'll love it. You'll trade anything for a base knock and add even more for a Ribby.
That's what insurance is for on these wooden bats. These players used to aluminum during the spring college seasons, those metal bats. His first pitch fouled back by Corey Bantam. So he's seen all this offense today for the Bucs, up to 4 hits now. Surprisingly, Corey Bantam hasn't been a part of the hit total. He did walk and score in the 4th, but for a guy who has 5 hits already this season, you expect him to get on the fun at some point. Now's a great time with the runners at the corners and no outs. A 4-2 Bucs lead here at Mulcahy Stadium.
Well, his last at bat was real good. Worked the pitch count a lot.
0-1, way outside. Looked like the catcher Anderson was ready for that one, maybe trying to trick Bantam into reaching at an outside pitch, but what we've seen so far, he's a very, very smart ball player. Has that power, but more importantly, has that high IQ that you want to see in the ball player. Here's the 1-1. Low.
Nice take by Corey Bantam. Off speed. Looks like the Bucs are going to, try and extend this lead even more. I wonder if a double steal possibly is on the ropes. Probably not.
2-1 pitch outside. Sorley has had some mixed control here. He actually started out his outing back in the 4th with a strikeout. This is similar to what we've seen with a few pitchers. You kind of get your rhythm down, and then things get a little bit iffy. A couple of walks, a couple of hits. Not what you want to see in your first outing of the summer. 3-1 pitch. Hit up the middle. This time, Marks dives and gets it. Flips to second, throw to first, and first baseman Ness can't control it. 1 run comes in to score in the form of Austin Gamel. Luke Taylor is out at second base, but Corey Bantam is aboard on the fielder's choice. And that extends the lead to 5-2 Bucs here in the top of the 5th. After no runs through 3, now 5 in the last 2 innings, and the damage not done as Sean Toger comes to the plate with 1 aboard and 2 outs.
That was a spectacular play by Dylan Marks to dive. I thought that one was going to get through, and he just extended out his arm.
First pitch fouled off to the left-hand side. My apologies, Milo. There's just 1 out. Bucs have been rolling offensively, so still a lot of time for the Bucs offense to try to do something here, and still a dangerous part of the order. Sean Toger searching for that first hit today, but we've seen in BP he has some pop to his bat. That's why he's in this 5 spot. Pitch reaches outside and evens out the count at 1 apiece.
Another big spot for Toger to showcase what he can do at the dish. Take advantage of that not being turned because, listen, it was such a good play by Dylan Marks. Tyler Ness probably tells you he should scoop that one.
Pitch off his hands and will go foul on the left side, giving chases Polanco, and he'll chase it all the way out of play. Moves it to a 1-2 count on Sean Toger. Left fielder today. He might be one of those guys that you see how many positions he can play in a season. You might have
I'll
a
start
lot
the
of guys-
bingo card.
Yeah, we'll start the bingo card. The only person leading him right now is Austin Gamel, I think, who's
Right, yeah.
already played left field, right field, third base, and second base. 3 games in to already have played 4 positions. That's
a lot.
pretty good. I don't know if we'll see him pitch or catch, but we'll see him around the diamond here. 1-2 pitch to Toger. Just misses on the outside part of the zone.
Well, even the catchers for the Bucs, you see Luke Taylor take a couple reps over at first base. Now, that's normal for the catcher to play first base, but a lot of diverse players.
Lead at first base by Bantam. The 2-2 pitch line right side, and that will drop for a single. Bantam stays at second base, and Sean Toger gets in on the hitting fun. Hit number 5 here today for the Bucs, and the offense rolling here in the 5th.
That was scolded. All right. You can hear that from miles away. There's Toker's first knock with the Bucs. Everyone getting involved. It's a party.
Well, not a bad start to the 5th for Anchorage. Single, fielder's choice, single, fielder's choice, single. So I guess if the pattern holds, Reese Sherman's going to have a fielder's choice here. But he'd love to have a single as well.
Good at your
Waving.
betting.
Yeah. Waving his bat and takes first pitch for a strike. Sherman had an RBI single back in inning number 4. That was the first run to come across the plate today, and now both offenses have woken up. 5-2, Bucs lead in the top of the 5th. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Gets in there for a strike.
Now, Reese Sherman has a real close stance up at the dish. Looks like he's really trying to go opposite. And he has a lot of power, too. Big legs from Reese Sherman, strength to go the opposite field. Big gap also between first and second.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Almost hit him, and it did. Just scrapes his left arm. That didn't look like it hurt, but it gets you a free base, so Sherman will take it. The disastrous 5th inning continues for the Glacier Pilots defense, and once again, the bases are juiced. It'll be Reese Sherman at first base, Sean Toger at second, Corey Bantam at third, and Grant Haas will have a chance to do some damage, but not before we see a mound visit. So they're going to talk things over, and it looks like it is a call to the pen here. We'll take a quick break here on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel and be back in a second. You're watching Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, top of the 5th, the Bucs have opened up a 5-2 lead over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, thanks to another 2 runs coming across the plate here in the 5th, and they still have a few outs to work with. Bases loaded, and that's a tough scenario for Austin Polinsky, who will come in to relieve Chase Sorley. Sorley with 1 1/3 innings pitched, already with a few runs marked to his name, and it could be even more as he's responsible for all 3 of these base runners. The bases juiced, that's Reese Sherman at first, Sean Toger at second, Corey Bantam at third. Austin Polinsky, the pitcher out of Pepperdine University, appeared in 25 games this spring, but he's a guy with short stints, only 23 2/3 innings, and his longest outing was 2 innings. So we might see him just wrap up this 5th inning. We'll see if they're trying to stretch him more, but Grant Haas will try to do some damage here with every base occupied here in the top of the 5th. First pitch to Haas, swung on, popped back to the right side, and an 0-1 count.
Vicious hack from Haas. Getting started right away against the new pitcher, Polinsky. That's what you like to see. You like to welcome in the new pitchers right away, not let them get into a groove.
0-1 pitch, 0-1 count, excuse me, on Haas, just 1 away. Here's the pitch. Bounce towards short, it's a slow roller. Marks goes to second, the throw to first is off the mark, and a fielder's choice reach for Grant Haas. 1 run comes in to score, that's in the form of Corey Bantam, and it's a 6-2 ball game here in the top of the 5th for the Bucs.
Yeah, well, there's your fielder's choice. Just came a batter late. The pattern somewhat stays alive, but that's good stuff from Grant Haas. Get the run in, keep adding on insurance runs as much as you can. Despite the out, that's a positive one.
He'll get an RBI, that's what matters. 2 away for James Provencio, who's had quite the day. First pitch, fastball hits the zone. Doubled his first time up. That was one of the lone extra base hits we've seen here today, and then took a tough break in the 4th. He will not get a hit. They call it an error. We're so-so on that one, but he reached nonetheless. 0-1. Reaches outside, evens out the count at 1 apiece. Have you ever seen Pepperdine's baseball field where
No, I
Polinsky
haven't.
plays? Oh, one of the most beautiful
Really?
ballparks in mainland U.S., and now he's playing these beautiful Alaska ballparks. He loves to play in some great scenery. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Big swing. That's a home run swing at James Provencio, James Provencio, and he can't find contact there.
He's trying to do that double recipe once again. Any other run the Bucs can get is just another positive.
Runners at the corners. 1-2. Low. Evens out the count at 2 apiece.
Interesting. Dylan Marks is going to cover second every time the pitch comes home. So definitely respecting the runner on first, Grant Haas.
2 balls, 2 strikes on the 8-hitter for the Bucs with 2 away, a 6-2 lead. Here's the pitch, lying down the left field line, but goes foul. So we'll do it once again, Provencino.
I think we're picking something up on Provencio. He likes to go opposite. He lets the ball travel deep into his bat and just pokes it out to the other side. He does that really well.
It's a 6-2 ball game, 3 runs in the last 2 innings each for the Bucs. Ball leads at first and third base. That's Haas and Sean Toger at their respective bags. Here's the 2-2 again. Goes outside and low. Well, we saw Anderson once again set up shop to the left of the plate. They're trying to get these lefties to chase, but good plate patience here from the Bucs batters.
They're really good plate discipline all around. Picking up the ball well. Rain's completely gone now.
Payoff pitch. Runners go, and it's inside for a walk. Long at bat there, but the third baseman will reach, and there's runners at every bag once again. Feels like we're having a million bases loaded here. Everyone's getting in on the fun, and quite literally everyone will, as the 9th batter this inning comes to the plate in the form of Cooper Saselski. So the right fielder trying to do some damage, stands tall, takes the first pitch all the way for a strike.
Yep. Batting around. Now, I want to bring up an argument. Is batting around
I've
when
had this argument many times.
So what are your thoughts on it?
I think batting around, I
Is
think they
when-
bat around.
I think if
everyone's been to the plate.
No, but I think if Kai McGarry comes up, it's batting around.
Okay.
It's a full circle.
0-1 in there for a strike. Had
You
some
think
late
about
break.
a circle.
I guess they bat through the lineup. We
Right,
agree with
bat
that.
through.
They bat through
That
the lineup
around
here.
is when it closes at the end.
I can agree with that.
Okay.
So the Bucs have batted through, trying to bat around, but Selski will try to reach the 0-2. Grounded right side should be easy for Euler, who gathers, scoops and throws to first in time. 4-3 putout brings the inning to an end. The Bucs strand the bases loaded, but not before 3 runs come across the plate. Anchorage Bucs in control here. It's a 6-2 ball game. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. To the bottom of the 5th, we head here at Mulcahy Stadium, a 6-2 Bucs lead. Anchorage putting 3 runs in both the 4th and the 5th, and now their crosstown rivals trying to do some damage as well. In the bottom of inning number 5, Cade Finazzo, new pitcher into the game for Anchorage. He'll face off against the 9-hitter, who takes first pitch for a strike. Edison Polanco struck out back in the 3rd. He's had some mixed results over in the hot corner in the field today. 0-1 pitch from Finazzo. Big swing to miss. And we're seeing some good velo out of Finazzo to start off inning number 5. 3rd pitcher of the day comes in to relieve John Witt, who had a rocky 4th, gave up 2 runs, was able to close it out. 0-2, just misses low. And the Bucs, as we've seen, trying as many pitchers as possible here in the first week or so of the season.
Yeah. John Witt did have a rocky inning, but listen, only 2 runs up on the board. Good to get out of it and prevent further damage.
1-2, poked foul. That one headed back towards the press box here.
We're going to catch one?
Probably not today.
We're going to bring it up every game?
Only if there's one close to us. We saw one that was kind of popped back in this direction. Didn't quite get there. 1-2 pitch. That one fouled off again. Nowhere near our direction. It's towards the right side. Hopefully the cars are okay for that one.
Yeah. I'm waiting for one of those.
You're waiting for one?
Well, I mean, I don't want it to happen.
Better knock
but
on some wood right there.
The parking lot's pretty close here.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Taken for a called strike 3. That's our first backwards K of the day for the Bucs. And Polanco sent back to the dugout, shaking his head. 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
You were just waiting to write that backwards skate down in your score sheet, weren't you? It's
always
really
fun.
good stuff from Finazzo. Pummeled him with fastballs and then froze him.
Top of the lineup, BJ Rodriguez comes to the plate. Want this the first pitch. Go by him, right by his hips though, and it's for a ball. 1-0 the count. It's been a good season so far for Cade Finazzo after playing at Cal Baptist this past spring. Pitch misses low. 2-0 the count. Just 4 1/3 innings pitched for the Lancers. One of a few Lancers you'll see in this league. Over at second base, his good pal Austin Gamel, also playing with CBU. Here's the 2-0. hit hard towards the right center gap, coming in, and Siselski makes the catch from his knees. A good play by the right fielder. That's the second time tonight Siselski's had Rodriguez's number, and those two not going to be the best of friends after this one.
Not at all. Siselski has had a ton of action, and you just said it. Rodriguez has gotten to him a few times. It's almost like that had so much dip on it. Siselski misread it originally, but made up for it really well.
Tyler Ness, the first baseman at the plate. First pitch, low for a strike. 1-0 the count on Ness out of Dallas Baptist. Saw Cade Finazzo play all the way back a week ago on the exhibition opener. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Got a nasty swing there on some dirty pitching from Finazzo. And that one went 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run that was earned, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. So that was his first strikeout of the season earlier this inning. 1-1, misses low and outside. 6-2, the Bucs lead the Pilots here in the bottom of the 5th.
Finazzo going to that changeup a couple times. That sinking action away from the lefty hitter.
Here's the 2-1. Bounced, 1 bounce, 2 bounce off the glove of Provencio. He'll throw across the diamond and still get him in time. How about that? When you don't get it that first try again, a 5-3 putout brings this inning to a close. 6-2 Bucs lead, 3 up, 3 down. A good inning from Cade Finazzo, and we'll turn things over to Milo after the break. It's the Bucs 6, the Pilots 2. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball.
Welcome back to Bucs baseball here at Mulcahy Stadium. Milo Hoffman, Alex Burstein with you for opening day in the ABL between the Anchorage Bucs and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. The score 6-2 right now. Bucs on top. After a couple big innings, the 4th inning, the Bucs scored 3. The 5th inning, the Bucs scored 3. And the top of the order is coming up for the away side, I should say, because they go back and forth. Looking like the Pirates today, the Bucs are. Kai McGarry will walk up to the dish. Austin Polinsky still on the bump for the Glacier Pilots.
Yeah, I think what's the most impressive here today for the Bucs, only 5 hits versus 6 runs. They've just found ways to reach. Hit by pitches, walks, fielder's choice. They know how to get on the base pass, and that's pretty good. That's good baseball right there.
Kai McGarry reached on a single his last time out, his first hit with the Bucs. Polinsky set, here's the pitch, up and in, and it's 1-0. McGarry has now reached twice today, walked back in the 1st, and had a single back in the 5th, up for the 2nd time in as many innings. Here's the 1-0. Pitch cut on and missed, and it's 1-1.
You got to imagine with McGarry, he didn't play much this past season. You want to get those big swings in, so it's all about finding your swing. You heard him, or we will hear him later in this game, talking about he really just wants to refine his approach this summer season, and seeing him do that early on.
The 1-1 pitch is taken just outside.
It's a
good
very
from up
good
here.
take.
But it's 2-1 on Kai McGarry out of ASU. Got drafted by the Houston Astros a couple years ago in the 20th round, 2024 MLB draft. Polinsky ready for the 2-1. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2 on McGarry.
Yeah, it looks like McGarry's just a hair of a second behind these two fastballs that have been thrown here by Polinsky, who's definitely had some of the top velo we've seen on the mound today. So just timing that swing, we'll see if he can do it here.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on and chopped to third. Polanco fields and fires over to first in time, and there's one gone here in the 6th.
Yeah, Polanco makes up for error in the field earlier today where he tried to barehand one and just botched it. Couldn't pick it up, but this time a nice play by the third baseman. Still searching for a home after his junior college career wraps up next year at El Paso Community College, but you've obviously been impressed by his fielding and a good future for the third baseman.
Very impressed by his fielding. He's looked so smooth out in practice. Because the Bucs and the Pilots both play on the same field, we sometimes catch the Pilots practicing, and he's a vacuum over there at third. Here's Austin Gamel, the number 2 hitter, takes the pitch outside, and it's 1-0 to the second baseman out of Cal Baptist. Played all around like we've been saying all game long, left field, right field, now in the infield. Polinsky ready for the 1-0. Here's the pitch, taken way inside, and it's 2-0. Mel still searching for his first hit as a Buck. Grounded out to second in the first. Grounded out to first, back in the third, and then reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 5th. Here's the pitch, outside, and it's 3-0 on Austin Gamel.
You mentioned still looking for that first hit, but he's had impressive at-bats. That's why he's in this 2 spot. He's one of these Bucs that just knows how to get on base, did it with the fielder's choice, and try and do that again here.
The 3-0 pitch is taken for a strike right down Broadway, and it's 3-1. You talked about the velo. Polinsky does look like he's throwing some pretty high velo up there from the dish. That big righty frame of his. Right on left matchup here at Mulcahy. The 3-1 pitch, swung on and chopped foul left side. And it's a full count on Austin Gamel. From 3-0 to 3-2 goes Polinsky, trying to work a clean inning, something the Pilots have not done the last 2 innings. In fact, matching 3 score innings for the Bucs.
Polinsky hit 92 back in high school. Now, you played high school ball. I don't think you saw a lot of 92.
Oh, no. I don't think I saw a lot of 82. The payoff pitch to Gamel. Taken inside, almost hit him, and Gamel works a walk. So there's 1 on and 1 out for the Bucs. Up comes Luke Taylor, the DH.
I'm guessing the high school circuits these players are playing on a little more competitive than New York City ball.
Oh, wait, I mean, Alex, we were searching for our fields on the daily basis in New York City. We had a place called Randall's Island that we would always go to, but no, we didn't have a field. We didn't have a football team. I'll keep running off things that you're going to be shocked at. So Austin Gamel off first. He's a speed threat. It's Luke Taylor at the dish. Pitch, swung on and fly to right field. Andrew Becker gives it a look in foul territory, and he can't make the play. There's 1 strike on Luke Taylor.
Right fielders are getting their cardio in today.
A lot of cardio. Saselski, Becker. I mean, listen, outfielders will tell you how much you stand around. They're running out there today. I think they like it, though. Whenever I played out there, I'm going to keep referring to myself as such a high-profile baseball player. I love to run. The 0-1, taken for a strike, off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2.
Milo, the 430,000th prospect in the class of 2023 out of New York State.
That's what we do.
Something like that.
Maybe times that by 2. We'll be more accurate. Gamel off first. Check back to him, and he's safe. Polinsky making sure that his runner on first doesn't go anywhere. It's Luke Taylor at the dish for the Bucs. Count 0-2. The Bucs up 6-2 here on opening day. Set at the belt is Polinsky. The kick and deal swung on and slowly rolled to third. Polanco barehanded, and he can't make the play. Moving to second is Austin Gamel. That should be probably another error on Polanco, going by what the scorers did last time up. So runners on first and second for the Bucs here with 1 out.
Yeah, they are going to mark that as an error, and you thought he would learn from his previous mistakes, especially after having a pretty good play earlier this inning to get Kai McGarry, a speedy runner. And the thing there that's especially frustrating for Polanco, if you glove that cleanly and you just don't beat the runner, that's a hit. That's not an error.
Right.
Instead, you try to get fancy with it. You miss it. It's a day where the field is wet, the ball is wet. You're running in. He's been moving to his right as well, so it's an across-the-body throw. He's just making this way harder than it has to be. That's 2 errors on him.
So runners on first and second for the Bucs. Here's Corey Bantam. Pitch is taken down low, and it's 1-0 on the Buck first baseman. Bantam so far today scored last inning, walked, and struck out back in the first. Got up to such a hot start in those exhibition games against the Miners. Here's the 1-0, swung on and fouled right back. Big hack from Corey Bantam. Still waiting on Corey Bantam to pick up that big booming hit that we know he can come up with. He's got a couple bloopers, a couple ground ball hits, but really hasn't put it in the outfield too much. Linsky set at the belt, checks on the runners, now deals. Strike on the outside corner, and off speed, worked back door there. So Bantam with a 1-2 count on him. He worked the count a couple at-bats ago when he walked. Scored last inning.
Scored the last 2 innings.
Corey Bantam, the scoring machine. Here's the 1-2. Taken down low, bounced up there, a 58-foot off-speed pitch. And it's even at 2 apiece.
You know, it's been a good job by both of the catchers here today, Anderson and Sherman. Obviously, it's been pretty high-level pitching, but no wild pitches, no pass balls. It's been a very clean game between the pitchers and catchers today.
The 2-2 pitch is slice foul left side. Very different from those minor games.
Yes.
Because over there at Herman Brothers Field, there's so much space. I mean, there is a decent amount of space over here at Mulcahy as well.
60 feet.
60 feet,
Yeah.
exactly. So pitchers can go from under us and pitch to the mound and still have the same exact distance. 2-2's the count on Corey Bantam, the first baseman. Here's the pitch, swung on and squibbed foul. Just got under it behind us, and it's still 2-2.
It's kind of misleading because the area in front of the press box shows that there's like not that much space, but there's stuff almost underneath us directly. More area the ball could go, so interesting dimensions here.
Counts 2-2, runners on first and second for the Bucs. Here's the pitch, swung on and laced to left field. Back goes teasing towards the foul line, and he makes the play. Both runners retreat back to their respective base paths. So Corey Bantam flies out to left. 2 gone here for the Bucs. And that brings up Sean Toger.
That's a good job by teasing out there in left field. He had to maneuver in multiple directions. Was backtracking, and then the wind took it a little bit to the left because it's blowing out that direction now, so he had to go to his right as well. But good job by the left fielder to keep this one just a 4-run game for now.
6-2 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots here on opening day of the ABL. Blinsky set, pitch to Toker is fouled back. He's taken some really good hacks. I'm impressed from what I've seen out of Sean Toker. I know he can pitch as well, but from that lefty batter's box, he's looked real confident up at the dish. Another big spot here. Can the Bucs get it done with 2 outs once again? They did that back in the 5th inning, in the 4th inning. 2-out hitting. The 0-1 pitch swung on and pop fly towards left. On comes teasing. He has room, and he makes the play. So Polinsky retires the Bucs. Strands 2 runners on, first and second. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th. It's the Pilots down 4, trying to rally here at Mulcahy. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back.
I think it's time for a special thank you.
welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium between the Bucs and the Pilots. It's Anchorage Bucs up 6-2 over the Glacier Pilots. Still Kate Finazzo on the bump for the Bucs.
Let's hear it for Dylan Marks.
Dylan Marks will lead off the inning for the Pilots. Shortstop flew out to right. Had a single back in the fourth and scored. Pitch swung on and laced out to center field. Back goes McGarry towards right center now, and the ball's down for a base hit. That's a stand-up double, and he's going for 3. Marks puts on the burners. Now he holds up, and he's back to second. Held on at the last second.
Yeah.
So it's a leadoff double for Dylan Marks and the Pilots. They're threatening already.
Yeah, well struck ball, but he got lucky because Grant Haas kind of fumbled the turnaround when he caught it at the edge of the infield grass. So had a chance to turn around and possibly get the runner at second base, but just a little too slow on that turnaround, and it's a good start to this inning number 6 for the Pilots.
Really good start. A hard hit ball. Seems like every inning that the Bucs have done something offensively, the Pilots have. Now the Bucs didn't do something, well, the Pilots come to bat in the bottom half of the 6th. Good start for them. That brings up Landon Teasing. Pitch to him is taken inside. 1-0's the count. Teasing walked, flew out to right. 0 for 2 on the day. Dylan Marks off second. A somewhat small lead. Pitch cut on and missed. And it's 1-1.
Milo, it looks like a position change. First appearance of the year for Landon Underhill as he takes over for Sean Toger out there in left field, the DBU product. Fresh off a regionals appearance, making his first stint.
The 1-1 taken upstairs. Yeah, Landon Underhill came over a couple days ago. A couple of these guys got some late starts because of their appearances in the big dance. You got Kai McGarry, Landon Underhill. 2 guys out in the outfield for the Bucs right now. 2-1's the count. On Teasing. Here's the pitch. Taken for a strike on the outside corner. Fastball, and it's 2-2. So 2-2's the count. On Teasing. 6-2 the score. Bucs on top. Looking for an opening day victory. Rain slowly coming down here once again at Mulcahy Stadium. Check back the runner, and he's back safely. No throw from Finazzo.
Yeah, on our drive over here, I was like, this is a bad day for baseball. And you said it's not going to be raining hard, but I said it's not that it's going to be hard to play in, but when it's just this drizzle throughout the day, it's just miserable conditions.
Pitch grounded to third. Provencio checks back the runner, and he slips, and he can't make the throw to first. Everyone's safe on the play. That'll be an error on James Provencio, the third baseman. He just slipped on his own shoes. Teasing safe at first. And just like that, those runners on first and second for the Pilots.
Yeah, it looked like he planted, I believe that was his left foot, and then started to fall forward. I'm not sure if that's a result of the rain or just he stepped too hard. That's an unfortunate break. Third baseman having a tough day here at Mulcahy Field.
Outfield doing well, third base, not so much. So runners on first and second now. Finazzo's pitch is swung on and grounded to second. This could be 2. On to second. There's 1. Back to first. It's a double play. A big one for the Bucs. Just like that, there's 2 gone here in the 6th. 4-6-3. Gamel to Haas to Bantam. Big pitch from Kate Finazzo. Pitch is fouled right back. The hitter's Luke Euler, the second baseman.
Yeah, it's impressive that as the Bucs move the middle infield around through these first 3 games, there's been a lot of combinations. The one constant, though, they've been playing well.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of errors, but double plays have all been very smooth. Something you can't say as much about the Pilots.
Pitch, check swing, went around. Almost like a sword swing right there from Euler. And there's 2 strikes on him, 2 outs. Just like that, Kate Finazzo is looking to work a very clean inning.
Yeah, you saw him nod over to the third base coach, say, yeah, that one's on me.
Don't like to see swings like that. Yo-2 taken down low. So 1-2 the count. That was an off-speed. Looks like a changeup from Finazzo. Bucs up 6-2 here at Mulcahy Stadium. And there's Luke Euler, second baseman for the Pilots. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slice foul left side.
For Finazzo, if you can get out of a leadoff double without giving up any runs, that's pretty impressive.
Hey, working into and out of trouble is a huge skill for pitchers. And here's the 1-2 pitch outside. So 2-2 on Euler. He got gunned out back in the fourth at home plate. Flew out to the catcher back in the second inning. 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 balls. Pitch just missed outside. And the count's full on Euler.
Yeah, Euler hesitated to swing the bat here in this camo helmet, but now he's just waiting for his pitch, and Finazzo hasn't thrown one really in the strike zone that much.
Out of the stretch, payoff pitch, cut on and missed, and Finazzo nods his way off the mound. Strikeout for Finazzo, and that'll do it in the bottom half of the 6th. It looked like it was going to get dangerous there, but a big double play and then a punch out. Scoreless, go the Pilots, still 6-2, Bucs on top. We'll be right back. You're watching Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back for 7th inning action between the Bucs and the Pilots. Bucs on top, 6-2 as we are here in the 7th inning. Gonna pick up an opening day win. Milo Hoffman, Ox Burstein alongside you. Still Austin Polinsky on the bump for the Glacier Pilots, and it'll be Reese Sherman, the catcher for the Bucs, leading off.
It's interesting. We highlighted entering today's game that the big problem to fix for the Bucs was leaving runners on the base paths. They've still left 7 on the bases compared to just 4 for the Pilots. They've done a better job leading up to those of punching guys in, and that's been the difference here today.
Much better. It's looked so much better from the offensive side as the first pitch to Sherman's outside goes back to the backstop, and it's 1-0. Sherman had an RBI single to get the whole thing started back in the 4th inning. One of those hits where it hits the bat twice. Looked like it had some movement going out there to short, but it squeaked through. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch, up and in. Fastball, and it's 2-0.
I'm still surprised that one didn't go for an error.
The squib shot to short?
It was right. His glove was right there.
It's tough. Scoring today has been up and down for sure. Here's the 2-0. Swung on it, fouled right back, right on top of us. And it's 2-1 to Reese Sherman. Catcher, like we said, picked up an RBI single. Got thrown out at second after he got hit by a pitch in the 5th. Pitch swung on and grounded to short. Dylan Marks works over, throws across the diamond in time. 1 gone here in the 7th. Nice, easy 6-4 put out, 6-3 put out, that is. So Grant Haas, the shortstop for the Bucs, is now up to the dish.
Another ball game thrown away. They're getting dirty. They're getting wet here.
Got to keep swapping them out. I always find it funny. How much of that do you think is, you know, pitchers want a new ball because it's hard to throw, or they don't like that ball because of what's been happening on the field? Haas throws bunt. It's way up here, foul back.
Probably about 50-50.
Yeah, I'd say so. A couple bunts also we've seen come all the way back here, up here towards the booth. Maybe a bunt
That might be our best chance.
could be. 6-2 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots on opening day. Counts 0-1 on Grant Haas, the Bucs shortstop. Here's the pitch, outside, and it's 1-1. Grant Haas flew out to first, walked, and had a ribby on a fielder's choice back in the 5th inning. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and hit hard. Third baseman and Polanco can't come up with it. Through the wickets of Polanco, Grant Haas is on with should be a single. And the Bucs have a runner on first here in the 7th.
Yeah, that one was rocketed off the bat of Haas there. It seemed for a second like the bat was going to break again. Polanco is not going to get marked with his 3rd error of the day. That was a sharply hit ball, but kind of moved away from it. Maybe a little bit scared of how fast that one came off the bat. That's a good piece of hitting for Haas. 6 hits so far today for the Bucs. Not bad.
That was rocketed perfectly, like you said. And that's a tough one. Through the legs of Polanco. Now it's Provencio. Here's the pitch to him. Works inside. Fastball from Polinsky, and it's 1-0 on the 3rd baseman. Check back to Haas, and he's safe. Pilots really respecting the Buck running game. A lot of pitchers stepping off the mound and making sure that Haas is going to stay put over there. Provencio has good contact, so possible hit and run. Here's the pitch, just outside, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, we saw the hit and run a lot the first 2 games from the Bucs. Just not a lot of success with it. Now in an actual game that will count towards the standings, haven't put it in front quite yet, but this is a great opportunity to try.
Here's the pitch to Provencio. Swung on and grounded through left side for a base hit. Provencio has his 2nd base knock of the day. Haas advances to 2nd, so there's runners on 1st and 2nd for the Bucs now. Sean Toger will dig up to the dish. Siselski, the right fielder now. With runners on 1st and 2nd for the Bucs. Another chance to tack on more runs. Sean Togert's out of the game. Played in left field. Players moving around here on opening day between both sides. 7th hit of the day for the Bucs. Pitch outside to Cooper Siselski. And it's 1-0. Provencio with his 2nd hit of the day, and maybe we were talking about it, maybe should have 3. Little infield that was ruled an error. Here's the pitch, swung on and laced out to right center field. Back goes Becker, he has room though. Tagging from 2nd to 3rd is Grant Haas, he'll go safely. So it's a runner on 1st and 3rd for the Bucs, a fly out to right for Siselski, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, Siselski just didn't hit that one as far as needed, but was able to advance the runner. You'll take that. I think what's really impressive, 6 different players have recorded hits today for the Bucs, and after a game on Tuesday where there wasn't a lot of offense, to find a lot of different diverse options is huge, because on Monday it was mainly the Bantam show.
Yeah.
Tuesday, kind of the Bantam show, and no one really showed up. Today, everyone hitting very huge.
It's going to be a full team effort if the Bucs want to have success this season. Pitch to Kaima. Gary drops in for a strike and off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1.
And they're leading the hit battle now. First time today.
There you go. Good stuff to see for the Bucs, especially after the offense looked very stagnant in those exhibition games. In the first 3 innings today, here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Umpire says yes, he did.
Ooh, that's a
don't know about that
tough
one.
call. But Gary did not know about that one either. He's a nice guy. He's not going to argue it. but
Oh, yeah.
That was a close one.
Real close. So just like that, it's 0-2 on the center fielder. Wiggles his bat. Ready for the 0-2. Pitch way outside in the other batter's box. And it's 1-2. So 1-2 the count on Kai McGarry. 6-2 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots here on opening day. 2 outs. Pitch. Swing and a miss. And Kai McGarry is down swinging. The Bucs strand runners on the corners. And we'll go to the bottom half of the 7th. Enjoy an interview with Kai McGarry in between innings right now. We caught up with him before opening day in his first action with the Anchorage Bucs. Milo Hoffman joined by Kai McGarry, today's center fielder and leadoff hitter. First of all, Kai, how are you feeling being in Alaska?
Oh, this is a crazy experience. This is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Definitely super excited to be here.
What are some of the main things you're looking to take out of this league, coming to the ABL? It's a prestigious summer ball league.
Definitely get my bats, refine my approach, perfect my routine and all that, and just looking to have fun. Like, this is a game that we have fun in. That's what I come in here to do, and I'm excited for it.
How important will a win be today, starting off the season against the Glacier Pilots, fellow Anchorage team?
Oh, you always want to win against the rival, especially first game of the season. Start off hot, get the boys rolling. It's got to be huge.
And how did you feel this last season at ASU?
Good. Oh, I love ASU. Like, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Playing under Bloomquist is the best thing I could ever ask for. Looking forward to another year coming back and helping the program.
What are some of the main things that you want to improve on specifically going into the season?
Definitely outfield hitting, like knowing my game and sticking to it and refining it, getting bunts down, taking my hits, stealing bases, all the game.
Is there anything specific that you want to do out here in Alaska? Any extracurricular activity?
I really want to go fishing, maybe a little bit of hunting, shoot some guns, just all that stuff, all the stuff you can do up here in Alaska that you can't do in AZ.
All right, thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you, guys.
Got you.
Thank you to Kai McGarry for taking time before the game, his first action with the Anchorage Bucs. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here at Mulcahy. Wherever you are, make sure to get up and stretch.
You're sitting down.
I am sitting down. You're right. You know what? I'm going to stand up. I'm going to join you. You were making fun of me for every time that you stood up, I would follow you. So I was hesitant to do it today. I mean, you can't blame me so much. Kate Finazzo's still in the bump for the Pilots. Zach Anderson, the catcher, will dig in for the Pilots. So far today, Anderson wrapped into a double play and then walked in the 4th inning. Muster up his first hit of the season. Here's the pitch. Taken outside, and it's 1-0. Off speed.
Interesting we haven't seen any positional changes so far from the Pilots. It's because this lineup is constructed very interestingly.
Here's the 1-0 pitch down low, and it's 2-0.
I mean, you have, I believe, 5 infielders on the roster, 5 or 6 outfielders, and then just a ton of pitchers who may be able to go two-way, but not a super diverse roster.
Finazzo's pitch bounces up there, and just like that, it's 3-0 on Anderson, the catcher. Glacier Pilots trying to get any action on the base paths that they can get. Counts 3-0. Finazzo kicks and deals, and he missed. It's down low, so it's a 4-pitch walk to Zach Anderson, and there's a runner on first right away in the 7th for the Pilots. Here comes Christian Hernandez, the DH. He struck out back in the 3rd. Grounded out to first in the 4th. 0 for 2. So Anderson off first. Here's the pitch. Just clips the outside corner. Looked like a changeup there. And it's 0-1. Pitch down low. So 1-1's the count. 6-2 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots on opening day. Glad to be with you. Thank you for listening here on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel. Milo Hoffman, Alex Burstein alongside you. We'll be with you for the whole season. A lot of fun action underway. Here's the pitch. Bounces down low. Gets by Sherman. And on to second goes Anderson. So that'll be a wild pitch on Finazzo. So runner in scoring position for the Pilots as they look to get offense going in the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, 4 runs is pretty comfortable of a lead in a game like this. There hasn't been a ton of offense, but you don't want it to get any closer. We've seen teams score 3 runs in an inning, so you really want to try to shut down this inning and then maybe turn to a long closer for the 8th and 9th.
Finazzo's been here for a little bit. Set at the belt, checks on Anderson at second. Here's the pitch, check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. So the umpire holds back, counts 3-1. Empty base over at first. Anderson leads off second. Pilots trying to muster up a rally here on opening day. Finazzo ready for the 3-1. Set at the belt, checks on the runner at second. The kick and deal, and he bounces it up there. Another walk for Kate Finazzo, so 2 aboard for the Pilots. We got something brewing, the home side does. Finazzo rubs his cleats off on the mound. No rain here falling down. Polanco now up to the dish, the third baseman.
Interesting to see no one warming up in the bullpen right now for the Bucs, especially, after Finazzo's gone a few innings already. Kind of looks like he's topping out a bit. So, surprising to see no action.
Pitch way outside, and it's 1-0. I'm with you. No one stirring up in the bullpen. A couple of players with sweatshirts on walking back and forth. And now Reese Sherman will go up to the mound and try to settle down his pitcher.
And I honestly wish we had seen this a batter or two ago, because you're having these quick walks. You just want to tell your pitcher, it's all okay. He's worked through this lineup already. He's gotten a strikeout to Polanco. He's gotten to force some outs against some of these players he's seen. So now it's just about remembering what you did the last time and trying to punch him out the same way.
Polanco digs back in. Finazzo will try to work out of this jam. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch, taken down low by Polanco, and it's 2-0. That was another off-speed. Finazzo trying to finesse his way around the plate here, but he's 2 pitches away from loading them up with nobody out. Here's the pitch, swung on and grounded right side. Gamel Fields fires to first, off balance, and they got Polanco. Runners advance to second and third on the play, so almost like a sacrifice for Polanco. Not the worst situation for the Pilots. 2 runners on with scoring position.
Yeah, good job by Gamel there. Did what you're supposed to do as a second baseman. Checked to see if there was any chance at play at second. There wasn't. Speedy runner at first, not to mention the fact that you're falling away. Almost fell all the way to the ground, but gets a nice throw over the first base, and, you'll take an out when you have the lead here.
Yeah, Gamel looked like he was about to slip there again. Pitch inside. I say again, not meaning Gamel slipped before, but we saw Provencio slip on the grounder the third last inning. Like we said, it's been raining a lot here in Mulcahy Stadium. Perhaps some wet turf that the players are dealing with. Here's the pitch to Rodriguez inside, and it's 2-0, the leadoff hitter. Flew out to right, struck out back in the third, and lined out to right, so he's 0 for 3. He started the game with a big, loud out deep to right field.
He feels due for a hit.
Here's the 2-0. Right down the gut, and it's 2-1.
Luckily, not as much rain as some other places in the state. Matsu Miners and the Chinooks got rained out yesterday. They're playing again today out the Chinooks. However, that game doesn't count. This one does.
2-0 taken down low on Rodriguez.
It's going to be like that for a few days.
Yeah.
This team's even out in the number of games played. But at the end of today, one team will be 1-0, one will be 0-1, and 2 will be 0-0 despite every team playing today. So,
well, we're expecting some games to be pushed to double headers as the season goes along with all this weather. As we saw the Matsu Miners, like you just said, got rained out yesterday. The 3-1 pitch is grounded right side. Bantam can't make the play. Backing up is Gamel. He doesn't have a play. A run scores, that's Anderson. So just like that, it's 6-3, the score. Safe at first is Rodriguez on what should be another error. It got under the glove of Corey Bantam. So runners on the corners now for the Pilots.
they marked it as a hit on the scoreboard. We'll see if that stands, now they're changing it to an error. But, yeah, tough break there. I'm honestly surprised Gamel didn't try a quick fire over to Finazzo, who was already at the bag. Definitely there was a chance there to get him, but a little too late.
Pitch back to first is safe. So Rodriguez off first for the Pilots. They got Hernandez at third, the DH. Another pitch from Finazzo inside, and it's 1-0. Tyler Ness, the first baseman, now the hitter. He's the number 2 hitter. Grounded out to third, had a single back in the fourth, though, so he's 1 for 3 on the day. 1-0 the count. Pitch, outside, 2-0. 6-3 the score. Pilots trying to stir up a rally. Finazzo's having a bit of trouble here in the 7th inning. Now pitchers are starting to warm up for the Bucs. Here's the deal. Down low, and it's 3-0 on Tyler Ness, the first baseman. So Trouble for Cade Finazzo. It's not going anywhere. The runners on the corners. 1 out. The 3-0 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. A fastball from Finazzo. And it's 3-1.
Scoring all over the place here. It seems like they've given that last one both a hit and an air, which I don't think is possible.
3-1 pitch is laced out to center field. Kai McGarry drifts over and he makes the catch on the run. Coming home to score is Hernandez. So that's a loud sac fly for Tyler Ness, and it's 6-4 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots. 2 runs home in the 7th.
Well, McGarry probably just saved a run as well. One was obviously going to come home no matter what. However, at first base there, Rodriguez speedy could have maybe gotten a couple bags. That's showing off that power 5 type speed. Didn't have to dive for that, just was able to run. And we talked about how fast he is. Got there in time. An excellent play by the center fielder to keep this at now a 2-run ball game.
Rodriguez is still on first, now with 2 outs. Pitch from Finazzo. This is a strike on the inside corner. 0-1's the count on Dylan Marks, today's shortstop for the Pilots. Finazzo trying to work out of this one. Listen, you give up the run, but you get an out. Not the worst situation. Checks on Rodriguez at first. Pitch bounces up there, and it's 1-1. Couple guys warming up for the Bucs now. You got to imagine this will probably be the last inning for Cade Finazzo. 6-4 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots. 2 outs here in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Swung on and lined to center field. McGarry can't make the play. It bounces in front of him. Rodriguez goes from first to third. The throw is not in time. Slides in safely. Provencio couldn't make the tag. Runners on the corners for the Pilots. And the go-ahead run is up to the dish.
I think he did make the tag. I think it was a second too late, but very, very close as he tagged the left cleat there of Polanco. That was very close. Obviously, no review here, and you only have one umpire looking at that, as we're going to see a call to the pen, but a very, very close play there. But now the tying run aboard in a dangerous situation for the Bucs defensively in the bottom of the 7th.
Yep, Joe Silva, the head coach, will take the ball from Finazzo. We're going to take a quick break up here as well. 6-4 between the Bucs and the Pilots here on opening day. We'll be right back. You're watching Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here for Bucs baseball, the Pilots are really threatening. It'll be Luke Barch taking the ball for the Bucs, his first action with this squad. Sophomore out of Augusta University, stands at 5'11". Appeared in 13 games last inning. He started 11. ERA over 7. Here's the pitch. Works inside on Landon teasing the left fielder, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, it's just a 2-run ball game now. You want to maybe get some fresh juice on the mound, see what a new pitcher can do. But this has turned into a really dangerous inning after it looked like a couple of outs and could have been over quick.
Pitch. Foul right side. Just in on the hands on teasing. The count's 1-1.
And it shows you how dangerous walks are. Both Zach Anderson and Christian Hernandez walked to start the inning, and they've come across home plate. So small ball here by the Pilots, but it's working.
Big moment in this one. 6-4 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots. Barch set. Here's the pitch, and it hit him. Or they're going to call a foul ball. Maybe it hit the knob of the bat.
It hit his bat, yeah.
Yeah, just clipped the knob of the bat. Landon teasing is confused at the plate. So are we, but very possible. You know, it's something you see time and time again on the baseball diamond.
Disappointing as a batter.
Yes, very disappointing. Or not. Barch ready. Runner goes. Pitch way outside. It bounced. Sherman blocks it, and he stumbles, and a run comes in to score. Rodriguez takes advantage. 6-5 the score. Dylan Marks advances to second on the bounce pitch by Barch. And it's a 1-run ball game here on opening day between the Bucs and the Pilots.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because with the jump that Reese Sherman originally got from behind home plate, probably could have gunned down Marks there, and instead a run comes home. Smart base running, but tough result.
The 2-2 fouled right side out of play. Just like that, Alex, it's 6-5, almost like we blink and whoa, it's a 1-run game. These big innings. You look, the runs come in clumps. The Bucs scored 3 times in the 4th, 3 times in the 5th. Now the Pilots have 3 already in the 7th, still a runner in scoring position. Barch checks on. The runner marks at second. Here's the pitch, off speed, outside, and it's 3-2. Landon teasing still up to the dish. Rodriguez came home to score on the wild pitch. Sherman did a good job originally to block it, but then stumbled. The payoff delivery. Swung on and lined foul left side. Teasing brought his hands in well there. So the count's still full on Landon teasing. He walked in the second, flew out to center, and then flew out to third. So hitless today for the left fielder. Once again, the payoff pitch ready. Here it is. Off speed, got him swinging. Nasty stuff from Barch. But the Pilots come away with 3 runs in the 7th inning. The score between the Bucs and the Pilots 6-5 as we go to the 8th here on opening day. You don't want to go anywhere. It's Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium. 6-5 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots here on opening day. And it's a new pitcher for the Pilots. It's Owen Monier out of Regis College. Hails from San Diego, California. Big right-handed pitcher at 220 pounds. Trying to work a scoreless inning for the Pilots as their offense has gotten going here late in this game.
Yeah, Monier, a quiet spring, only 3 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits and 5 runs, but it's been a quiet last couple of years, only 7 appearances over the last 2 seasons, and now trying to get something going in the summer with these Pilots.
Leading off for the Bucs is the second baseman, Austin Gamel.
Top of the 8th.
Walked back in the 6th.
Number 5, Austin Hill.
Hitless on the day, looking for his first hit with the Bucs. 6-5 the score. Here at Mulcahy Stadium. Monier's pitch, fastball right down Broadway, and it's 0-1. He looks like he has some juice on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, especially after we've seen some tired arms the last couple of innings, to have someone fresh come into the game is huge for the Pilots.
The 0-1 pitch to Gamel. Swung on and grounded fair down the left field line. Gamel rounds first, and that ball skips up over the fence and out of play. Gamel glides in safely, standing at second base, and that'll be a leadoff double for the Bucs.
Oh, that's an unorthodox ground rule double. I mean, it didn't even reach the bullpen out there in left field. It hopped over the fence. A fan caught it, I think, on one hop or 2 hop. He was parading with the ball, but hey, any way to reach. Gamel, we said he has a lot of power to right field. How about a little Apo Taco? Not a home run, but
there's his
gets
first hit with the
extra base
Bucs.
hit.
He'll take it in the extra base variety. So now Luke Taylor up to the dish. Monier checks on the runner, kicks and deals off speed, just a little bit inside, and it's 1-0. Nice oppo hitting from Austin Gamel. Past the third baseman Polanco, who really didn't have a chance to field that one.
Nope. Perfectly placed.
Monier comes set. Out of the stretch, Luke Taylor tops it foul, and it's 1-1. We're in the 8th inning. 6-5 the score. Bucs trying to add on some insurance runs. 8 hits for the Bucs, 7 for the Pilots. 2 errors for both sides. Counts 1-1 on Luke Taylor, and he calls time. Monier steps off the mound. Rain has completely stopped here at Mulcahy Stadium just in time for the final couple of innings, and what's been a great opening day ball game. Monier comes set. Gets the sign. Kicks and deals. Pitch swung on and blew to left field. Back goes teasing. Back, and it's off the wall. 1 run comes around to score. That's Gamel. Luke Taylor's in sliding to second with a ribby double. Luke Taylor with his second hit of the game all the way to the track off the base of the wall. Gamel came around easily to score, and that's a big insurance run for the Bucs. 7-5 the score.
Yeah, a little more than a bloop there, Milo.
Yeah.
He just golfed that over the head of the left fielder, teasing there. Almost had a chance at going. It was off near the top of the wall, but an excellent piece of hitting there from Luke Taylor. We talked about his power, shows it there, and the bat's alive once again here in the 8th for the Bucs.
Almost looked like he got it off the end of the bat there from up here, but yeah, that ball had some carry. Pitch to Corey Bantam is fouled left side. Out of play. So the count's 0-1. Bantam, the first baseman for the Bucs, grounded out to short, flew out to left. Here's the 0-1 pitch inside, and it's 1-1. Luke Taylor off second. Still no outs for the Bucs. 7-5 now the score. That was the Bucs' 9th hit of the day. Luke Taylor with his second. Here's Monier's pitch. Swung on and drilled to center field. The center fielder Rodriguez slips. Now he recovers and makes the catch. So there's 1 away. Bantam gave that one a good ride, but Rodriguez has played perfectly.
Yeah, Rodriguez with an impressive recovery there, kind of bounced up immediately. It looked like it was on a trampoline out there in center field, but was able to get the catch there and a big out there for the Pilots after the power hane to start the inning.
Yeah, now Landon Underhill with his first at-bat with the Bucs. The new left fielder took over from Sean Toger a couple innings ago. Runners stay put at second. That's Luke Taylor. Couldn't advance on the fly out to center. Here's Underhill out of Dallas Baptist University. First pitch to him is taken inside. 1-0's the count.
Yeah, first at bat of the year for Underhill here in the summer. He had a pretty decent year, hitting in the 200s over at Dallas Baptist. Was able to get some innings in the NCAA regional and brings a decent bat here to the Bucs lineup.
Fresh off some big-time action. Pitch to him is topped foul behind home plate.
Must be quite the change going from the Dallas Heat and all those important games to obviously important, but opening day, start of the season, a lot more relaxed. I'm sure he is in that lefty's batter's box.
He just got taken all the way back to the start of the season in a matter of days. Monnier set at the belt, checks on the runner. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's hit well out to left field. Back goes teasing. He slips, and that one's off the base of the wall again. Around comes Luke Taylor. Landon Underhill in his first at-bat with the Bucs is on with a standing double, and he takes a ribby with it. 8-5.
Well, don't be mistaken. That is not the fault of the left fielder teasing who slipped there. Even if he had had full function of his limbs out there, he still would have had no chance of that. That one blasted out to left field, and a huge double there for Underhill to move this once again to a 3-run game.
Really nice to see the Bucs come back out this inning with a big offensive outburst. Underhill wasting no time to get involved. Pitch swung on and popped. That'll stay in the infield. The first baseman, Tyler Ness, camps under it, and he makes the catch. Reese Sherman is retired on 1 pitch. So there's 2 gone here in the 8th inning. Up comes Grant Haas, the shortstop.
And for those of you watching on our YouTube stream, it is an 8-5 ball game. We have the score bug automatically linked from the stats. It was actually Grant Haas's run in the 4th that was not counted, but it is an 8-5 ball game here. He scored before the 3rd out, so his run will count.
Pitch cut on and miss. Monnier with a nice pitch there. It's 0-1 on Grant Haas.
Part of that big 2 RBI double by Cooper Siselski that Provencio got caught at home, but 2 runs had already come home.
Everyone's getting involved for the Bucs. Monnier's pitch swung on and slowly rolled third base line. The pitcher, fields and fires to first in time. No, safe the call. The umpire called him safe, and the Glacier Pilot fans here at Mulcahy are not pleased.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised there. That one didn't look particularly close. Obviously, Haas fast was gained on the line, but it looked like before he was even in the air, he was out there. So a tough call there for the Pilots. Keeps the inning going for the Bucs, and who knows, maybe they can get to the double-digit mark of runs if they can get something nifty going here.
That was so close. There's been a couple calls so far today, and in the exhibition games against the Miners, that the umps, you got to be confident with the call one way or another. Pitch to Provencio is outside, so now runners on the corners. Underhill advanced to third on that infield single, I think they're calling it, for Grant Haas. So he's off first, Underhill off third. Haas takes a pretty comfortable lead. Provencio with 2 hits on the day. Pitch taken inside. 2-0. Great day for Provencio. He was gunned out at home back in the 4th inning on an aggressive base running move, but has a double, a walk, pitch, pours in for a strike and off speed, and it's 2-1. Monnier trying to work out of this one. Keep this within range for his Pilot's side, although almost anything seems like it's in range nowadays. The offense have really come up after the 3rd inning, really. Pitch, lined up the middle, base hit for Provencio. Underhill comes to score. Going to third is Grant Haas. He slides in safely. It's a ribby single for Provencio, and the Bucs have a 9-5 lead.
How about this day for Provencio? Doubled back in the second, reached the in air, a walk, now back-to-back singles. That's 5 reaches and 5 at-bats, and that air we mentioned could have gone for a hit. He very easily could have had a 4-hit day here, and he's all of a sudden becoming one of the top offensive performers on this squad.
Looked really good so far. Just covers all parts of the plate. Now Cooper Soselski up to the dish. Still runners on the corners. Pitch, right down Broadway, fastball, and it's 0-1. Mounier trying to work out of this one. I said that a batter ago, couldn't get it done. Let's see if he can get it done here once again. Bucs trying to keep on tacking more runs. 11 hits so far. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's slice foul right side. Looks like it'll find the seats, and it does. Solid turnout today. As I said, I stepped out of the booth a couple innings ago. A lot of people under us. We can't see that from our vantage point here, but fans up and down the first and third base lines. Storing the bullpen for both sides. Mounier, though, comes set at the chest, trying to work out of this one. 0-2 pitch, slice foul, right side. Still 0-2.
Keep your heads up and keep those phones down. That back there reminds us.
Soselski picked up a couple ribbies back in the 4th inning on a big double. That was the one where Provencio was eventually thrown out, but he laced it to right center. 0-2, Provencio off first, tap foul at the dish, and they'll do it again. 9-5 the score between the Bucs and the Pilots. 3 runs already home. It's the 3rd time the Bucs have scored 3 innings this game. 3 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 6th and 7th both scoreless, and now 3 in the 8th. Still runners on the corners.
Maybe that's the Bucs' lucky number.
Well, 3 is the lucky number. The lucky charm. Provencio off first, Haas off third. Pitch way outside, and the count's 2-2.
It hasn't exactly been a stellar day for either of these bullpens. There's been some stints of good pitching, but it was really the starters looked great, and then a little bit of a fall off that's led to a 14-run ball game.
We're not complaining about all the runs.
Oh, no.
I'm sure the fans aren't either. Provencio steals. Throw down, fake.
Oof.
The pitch was outside, so it's a stolen bag for James Provencio. So now there's 2 runners in scoring position for the Bucs. A 2-2 count on Cooper Soselski, the right fielder.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been miscommunication there between Euler and Marks of who was going to cover the bag. They were a second too late, and Anderson decided, not going to risk it, go down the second.
Here's Mounier's pitch, tapped foul once again. Good battle from Cooper Soselski up here. So the count's still 2-2 on the right fielder. 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 balls. Here in the 8th inning on opening day, 9-5 the score. Bucs on top. Gray clouds above us, but no rain as it stands right now. Mounier's kick and deal. Once again, a foul ball. That was a fastball working in on the hands, and Soselski just got a piece. So it's 2-2. Soselski would love to pick up another hit here, and that'll probably come with 2 more ribbies. Grant Haas, the shortstop, over at third. The third baseman, Polanco, is playing pretty close to the line, so Haas doesn't have too much of a lead. Provencio has a big one at second. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. A strikeout for Mounier, but not before 3 runs come home for the Bucs. The score 9-5 here on opening day. The 3rd 3-run inning for the Anchorage Bucs as the offense is coming alive. We'll be back for the bottom of the 8th. We're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. Don't go anywhere. Back here at Mulcahy, 9-5. Bucks on top here opening day. Bill Barch on the mound for the Bucks, trying to work a lockdown inning with a 4-run advantage. Comes set at the belt, pitch, strike, and it's 0-1. Barch rocks and deals. Pitch swung on and lofted to center field. Back goes Kai McGarry, works way back, and it falls behind him. Onto the track it goes. That's a double. And it's a leadoff runner in scoring position for the Pilots. McGarry kind of kept going. The ball dropped right in front of him. So dangerous early for the home side.
Yeah, that ball was given a nice ride out to center field. I think it was misjudged by McGarry because he started off with kind of a jog and then was running over to get it at the end. So misplayed it a bit, and now runner in scoring position.
Luke Euler the hitter now. That was Andrew Becker who laced that out to center field. Pitch from Barch is outside. Nope, a strike called. Just clipped the outside portion, and it's 0-1.
Sometimes see the strike zone change a little bit at the end of these long games.
McGarry actually turned his head and it dropped in front of him. Interesting play. 0-1, grounded up the middle, backhanded by Barch, knocks it down, throws the first in time. Nice play by Barch, the pitcher. Good defense out there from the bump. Runner advances to third on the play. That's Andrew Becker. So runner on third for the Pilots now with 1 out. Kind of flung his hand out there and was lucky.
Well, almost like a SportsCenter top 10 play if he had caught that right on the bounce. He almost backhanded it perfectly. Instead, a nice recovery getting it off the ground, but very good play there by Barch.
Set at the belt, kicks and deals, grounded to short. Haas charges. The Bucks give up the run. He throws the first in time. Becker comes home to score. But the Bucks pick up the out, so 9-6 now. That's a ribby ground out for Anderson. And it's 9-6 now. Barch still on the bump. And up comes Hernandez.
Yeah, you'll take that if you're the Bucs. You get an out, still a 3-run game, not the end of the world.
Exactly. Take the out wherever you can, especially up by 4. It's just clips the outside corner from Barch. It was a fastball, and it's 0-1. A lot of players slipping around today. You see McGarry slip out in center. Provencio, Gamel. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Squibbed right down the first baseline. Bantam gobbles it up and goes to first. Easy play for the first baseman. And a relatively easy inning for Barch after giving up that long booming double. A run does come home to score. A nice play in the middle of it by Luke Barch to halt any further damage. The score 9-6 now. Bucks still on top. And we'll head to the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere. It's Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, ready for 9th inning action. Milo Hoffman, Alex Burstein with you. It'll be the top of the order for the Bucs. Kai McGarry will walk up to the dish for a new pitcher, Gunnar Mountcastle, the left-hander out of Feather River Community College. Appeared in 9 games last season, pitched to a 5.68 ERA, 9 strikeouts. McGarry, the leadoff hitter and center fielder, on at the dish. First pitch is fouled right side, and that's out of play. McGarry having himself a pretty nice day. First game with the Bucs. Picked up a single back in the 5th. Has a run scored. Some action out in center. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, clipped the inside corner of the plate, and it's 0-2. Bucs up by 3, 9-6 the score. Can they get some more insurance? Can they respond from the Pilots' 1 run? Pitch chopped over to short. Dylan Marks drifts over, throws on one leg, and he gets him in time for the first down. So Austin Gamel now up to the dish. First out retired by Gunnar Mountcastle. Gamel picked up his first hit with the Bucs last time out. He sliced a double down the third baseline. Lefty on lefty matchup here at Mulcahy. Bucs on top 9-6. Mountcastle set at the belt. Kicks and deals outside. You know, I've been telling you this all week, for any of you MLB fans. Gunnar Mountcastle. That's just the Baltimore Oriole written all over it. Of course, Ryan Mountcastle and Gunnar Henderson, players for the Orioles. So they're just combined into this pitcher.
He is a left-handed pitcher.
Pitch, check swing, Gamel went around, and it's 1-1. So what I'm thinking is Gunnar Henderson and Ryan Mountcastle combined just equals Gunnar Mountcastle, the pitcher right here for the Pilots.
Except don't look anything alike, different positions,
True.
But just names, I guess.
1-1's the count on Gamel. Pitch swung on and looped left side. That gets down for a base hit. Gamel's on board with his second base knock of the day. First it was a double, now a single. Runner on first for the Bucs. And Corey Bantam, the cleanup man, will come to the dish.
Yeah, Gamel's recovered really well. Started the day 0 for 2, 0 for 3 actually. Reached via fielder's choice, but now a walk, double, and single his last 3 times up. That's how you know the offense has been good. That's his 6th time to the plate today. That's a pretty productive offensive showing from the Bucs.
Luke Taylor will dig in. Righty, the DH today. Had a double back in the 8th. A big one to left field. Pitch, cut on and missed. Big hack. And it's 0-1.
Yeah, Luke Taylor's shown he has some home run power. Long one with that one. Ends up stumbling out of his shoes. But, you know, all these players are showing in these first couple games whether they should be trusted in the starting lineup. And Luke Taylor, one of the guys who has shown that for sure he deserves a spot. 3 RBIs all right today.
Pitch swung on and topped towards third base. Polanco drifts over and he can't make the grab. The ball squirts out of his glove. Luke Taylor safe at first. Gamel advances to second on the play. Some trouble for Polanco today over at third. So there's runners on first and second now for the Bucs. And now it's cleanup hitter Corey Bantam up to the dish.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that one gets scored, and they are going to give yet another error to Polanco, who made a nice stop and then was a little too quick, as we're going to see a mound visit here. But 3 error day, and that's now 5 on the evening for the Glacier Pilots after a couple earlier plays got changed. So that's a rough defensive outing for the Glacier Pilots.
Yeah, you know, nervous Bugs maybe on opening day. Players excited to be back out there. The Bucs are excited to have a 9-6 lead. Here's Corey Bantam up at the plate. Pitches down low. Runners on first and second in the form of Luke Taylor at first and Austin Gamel at second. 9-6 to score between the Bucs and the Pilots. 3 runs home in the 8th inning for the Bucs. Mountcastle set. Here's the pitch. Sliced foul behind the plate. and it's 1-1.
Well, irony will certainly be met if the only player who doesn't reach via a hit today is Corey Bantam, but that's what's happening right now unless he records a hit here today. Obviously, he has impact felt in other ways, but still searching for that base knock.
1-1. Here's the pitch, up and in, and it's 2-1. You know, he was robbed of one. The shortstop, Dylan Marks, made a spectacular play to hold Corey Bantam from getting a base knock. And everyone getting involved here. Can Corey Bantam knock on the door and enter the party? Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off speed, got him out in front, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
A lot of vertical movement on that breaking pitch, and hasn't been a bad inning defensively so far for the Pilots other than that one error, so they're trying to make up for it with their pitching.
Mountcastle wobbles his front foot, now comes set. Here's the pitch, check swing, Bantam held back. Pitch was down in the dirt, so it's a full count on Corey Bantam, the first baseman. Bucs looking to add on some insurance runs here at Mulcahy Stadium on opening day. 9-6 the score. Lefty Mountcastle works from the far right side of the mound. You don't see that too often. Left on left matchup. Here's the pitch. Outside, and it's a walk for Corey Bantam, his second of the day. So the bases are deuced for the Bucs. And up comes Landon Underhill, who ripped a double in his first at-bat with Anchorage.
Well, a big part of Bantam not getting a hit today, he hasn't gotten a ton of hittable pitches.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've been pitching around him on purpose or on accident, but
I don't think
a
so. I
lot-
think it's too early.
a lot of balls thrown his way, so he'll take the reach no matter what.
Guy picks up 5 hits. They're treating him like Barry Bonds up here. ABL alumni, Barry Bonds. First pitch to Underhill, swing and a miss. And it's 0-1 on the left fielder out of Dallas Baptist University. Like I said, picked up a ribby double. His first plate appearance came in for Sean Toger a couple innings ago. 9-6 the score. Mountcastle set. Bases juiced for the Bucs. Here's the pitch, taken for a strike on the outside corner. And it's 0-2. Big moment right here. Can Underhill come through and really blow this one open? Give his pitchers a lot of room to work with. Mountcastle checks in for the sign. Bantam off first. Taylor off second. Kamel off third. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. And that's a strikeout for Mountcastle. A big one. 2 gone here in the ninth.
Yeah, so big that he lost his hat as he threw that one. That means you have a lot of velocity and you're putting your full body into it. But a big strikeout there, and if you're the Pilots, you really need this out. Keep that 3-run game because no one scored more than 3 runs in an inning. So you want to keep this somewhat doable.
Now it's Reese Sherman, the catcher. Pitch to him is swing and a miss. Off the umpire's mask, it seemed like. It squabs down the first base line. So 0-1 the count on Reese Sherman, the catcher today. Like I said, he started this whole thing with an RBI single to finally get the Bucs to break through all the way back in the 4th inning. 8 runs later, it's 9-6.
It's been a long day here at Mulcahy.
Started off fast.
It did.
Now it's
First
slowed down.
4 innings.
Pitch to him is down low.
They had
So-
the starters going back and forth, so the first 3 innings went
Yep.
by like this, and now almost at a 3-hour game, so I guess stayed on pace for a no pitch clock game, but definitely ebbs and flows throughout today's contest.
Mountcastle comes set. Bases juiced. Sherman at the dish. Here's the 1-1 pitch, taken for a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 now on the catcher. A hit right here will really give the Bucs a whole lot of insurance to work with.
Klaus has had again.
The hitters are seeing the ball well, it seems, and they're just getting a bit overzealous at the dish. Kamel creeps down the third baseline. Here's the 1-2 pitch, down low. It bounced up there, and it's 2-2. So Gunnar Mountcastle hops back up to the mound. The bases are loaded for the Bucs. Big moment. Can Mountcastle work out of it and keep this at a save situation for the Bucs here on opening day. Comes set, checks on the runners, and he's ready for the 2-2. Here it is, swung on and looped down the right baseline. That should find the seats, and it does. Onto the bleachers, makes a loud crack, and it's still 2-2 on Sherman.
Yeah, Mountcastle with that 5'10", 160 frame. Not super imposing on the mound, but he's put some good velo into these pitches. And, I mean, as I guess a closer in this type of situation, all you can ask is to get no runs. But the Bucs certainly threatening here, and this could be a big opportunity.
Threatening could be an understatement.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and laced down the right field line. That ball is just foul. Inches.
I'm surprised they called that foul. That looked like it hit the line. I mean, it's very hard to say when you have these two-man umpire crews because you have the home plate umpire who's looking down the line, but obviously that's a far away. And with the bases loaded, your other umpire is by second base, so does not have a good view at all. Couple of very close calls for the Bucs here today. This could easily be a 12-13 run game, but that's one that Bucs are going to want back.
Sherman just inches away from what would have been
probably a 3
big
RBI hit,
yeah, that
at
was
least.
Gonna creep down there on the first base line. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Off speed, got him looking. Off speed pitch right down the center of the strike zone. Sherman couldn't do anything about it. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Bucs trying to close out their first win of the season. Can they get it done? Well, you'll just have to stick around to find out. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back.
Let's hear it for Gunner Mouse.
Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, we go to the bottom of the 9th. And it's Carl Colavecchio for the Bucs. Trying to come on and close this one out. First save situation of the season. Big lefty sophomore out of Feather River College. Stands at 6'2". And this is telling. Definitely first save situation for the Bucs of the season. Wonder if he's the guy that they'll go to, or if they'll keep on experimenting as the season goes along.
Yeah, it just squeaked into that save potential. One more run. If that hit by Sherman that dropped, it would definitely not be. So I guess a little more pressure, but if you're the Bucs, pretty comfortable with how the defense and pitching have been playing the last few innings, and just overall a much better team effort here. Yeah, obviously 6 runs, not the most ideal, but they've put stuff together the last couple innings and only runs given up in 3 different. So this has been a very solid outing for Anchorage.
Solid outing for the Anchorage Bucs, of course. Both teams from Anchorage. And Edison Polanco will lead off for the Pilots. First pitch in on the hands, popped up. That'll stay in the infield. Prevencio's there, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Carl Colavecchio in the 9th.
Well, that's a productive start to this one, and just turned a little too quickly onto that. He'll want that pitch back, but good job by Prevencio. He's had an excellent day in the field and at the plate, and that's what you want to see out of your closer. Effective, quick pitches, and that's what you do.
Lefty set at the chest. Here's the pitch, off speed. And VJ Rodriguez, the hitter, had to duck out of the way. So 1-0 the count. 2 pitches in here to the bottom of the 9th. Bucs trying to close out their opening day victory. Counts 1-0. The kick in the deal, swung on and foul left side. 1-1.
Lefty on lefty battle. Interesting to see how all the different left-handed pitchers, which there's a surprisingly high number of that we've seen so far this season, have battled in these at-bats. We saw Rue start the day as a southpaw, now closing with 1-2.
The 1-1 pitch is outside. Colavecchio, listen to this. Pitched a 17 strikeout no-hitter in high school. I mean, that's unbelievable. And he also nearly hit for the cycle in the same game. 2-1 pitch way outside, and it's 3-1. Adds on to our two-way sort of theme here. So he can hit as well. But right now, mainly focused on the pitching. 3-1's the count. Here it is, swung on and lifted high in the sky, right field. Cooper Siselski comes in a couple steps and he makes the play. So there's 2 gone in the bottom of the 9th. The Bucs 1 out away from an opening day victory.
So a very, very nice day out there in right field by Siselski. He's also had a good day at the plate, but I mentioned this has been a relatively clean game by the Bucs. There's 2 errors on the scoreboard, 1 on the official stats. We have 2, but overall very clean.
Pitch, a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1 on Tyler Ness, the Pilots' last hope. Colavecchio gets the sign, comes set at the chest. Now the 0-1, outside, and it's 1-1. His first action with the Bucs this season comes in a closing situation. 2 quick outs, 2 flyouts, 1 in the infield, 1 in the outfield. Here's the 1-1, way outside, and it's 2-1. The hitter's Tyler Ness, the first baseman. Pilots trying to work a 2-out rally. Can Colavecchio close it down? Here's the 2-1 pitch, down low, and it's 3-1. Left-on-left matchup. We've seen a couple of these as of late. Tyler Ness has his socks pulled all the way up towards his knees, looking like an old-school ball player. Wiggles the bat. Here's the 3-1 pitch, sliced foul, and it's a full count. The Pilots are down to their last strike here on opening day. Colavecchio is trying to close it out. 9-6 the score. Here's the kick in the deal upstairs, and Tyler Ness works a 2-out walk. So up comes Dylan Marks, the shortstop. 2 outs, Tyler Ness over at first. It's a nice at-bat from him to work it full. Colavecchio lost him, has another chance to get it done here against Dylan Marks, the shortstop.
Yeah, not who you want to see at the plate. He's hit his last 3 times and reached single, double, single. So definitely a dangerous hitter in the 9th.
Here's the first pitch to him inside, and it's 1-0. So just like that now, there's a runner on first. Colavecchio was 1 strike away. Now the tying run is on deck. That's Landon teasing. Right now, though, it's Dylan Marks. Here's the pitch. Curves in for a strike. An off speed, and it's 1-1. Tyler Ness off first. The Bucs don't care about that runner. Dylan Marks, the shortstop, up at the dish. Pitch is outside.
Scoreboard went out here.
Yeah, sure did.
No play on.
Play on indeed. Here's the pitch. Swung on and lofted high in the sky, deep to center field. That's playable. Kai McCary drifts back, makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Bucs, in an offensive outburst, come away with a 9-6 victory here on opening day. What a way to start off the season for the Anchorage Bucs.
Yeah, I mean, it started off with R.J. Rue, who had 3 excellent innings as a starter for the Bucs, and then you could tell in the 4th inning where the Bucs played at 3 that this was a different offense. It's obviously not a super different lineup than last week, but they found their way to hit here at Mulcahy Stadium. A great offensive showing. Obviously, some things to clean up defensively and still figuring out the bullpen situation, but anytime you can put 9 runs on the scoreboard, that's a good day, and the Bucs get a winner to start 1-0.
Yep, 9 runs on the board. Now, it looked like in the exhibition games, the Bucs were trying to get this offense going. Well, it showed up just in time. 9 runs to close out this opening day win against their fellow team in Anchorage, the Glacier Pilots. A big day for a couple guys. James Provencio, the one who stays out. 3 hits on the day, a couple ribbies. Played good defense over there at third as well. We're going to step aside really quickly here, but on the other side, we'll get you the game totals, so don't go anywhere. The Bucs win 9-6, the final score. We'll be right back on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel. Welcome back here to Mulcahy Stadium. Milo Hoffman, Alex Burstein with you. Following the Bucs' opening day victory, 9-6, the final score between the Bucs and the Pilots. Today's winning pitcher, R.J. Rue, went out there and shoved 3 innings of scoreless ball. Did really well after that exhibition start a couple days ago against the Miners. He looked really good from the start. Trace Sorley picked up the loss for the Glacier Pilots. Of course, you just saw Carl Colavecchio come on and nail down the save in what was really an easy inning for him. A couple flyouts. Actually, all 3 of the outs were flyouts. 1 to third, right field, and then Kai McGarry finished it off in center. James Provencio with a big day at the dish. 4 hits for him. Austin Gamal picked up his first 2 hits with the Bucs. Landon Underhill picked up a double. Luke Taylor had a couple hits. So a bunch of players really getting involved for the Bucs. It was a full team effort. Cooper Siselski also had 2 ribbies. Luke Taylor with 2 ribbies as well. Corey Bantam also picked up a ribby. So really good to see everyone get involved for the Bucs.
Yeah, this was a very diverse offensive outing. As we said, of the starters, the only one who didn't pick up a hit was Corey Bantam, and he still found his way onto the base paths a few times. So very, very good to see 1 through 9 hitting. That's how you win ball games. And now it's just everything starting to come together. It's the first of a 3-game series, so a lot of time left here for the Bucs. But hey, that's an encouraging 1-0 start.
Very, very encouraging. 9-6 once again. The final score between the Bucs and the Pilots. Well, they'll do it again here tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here from Mulcahy Stadium. Once again, the final score on opening day, 9-6 between the Bucs and the Pilots. That'll just about do it up here in the broadcast booth. For Alex Burstein, I'm Milo Hoffman saying so long. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Come right back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. for Game 2 of the ABL. So long, everyone.